following is a UTV 44 sports production.
Friday night rivals. This is the UA Early Cup UTV 44 Game of the Week. Presented by the Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
Our first look at 5A football here tonight on UTV 44 is we're in Prichard as the Viger Wolves. They're on a roll, 5 in a row they've won, playing host to the Jackson Aggies. Just one loss on the season, and it came last week on their home field when they fell to the St. Paul Saints by a touchdown. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox, my partners Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett down here on the field as we get ready for tonight's game here. Dan, and when you look at the Viger team, and I know you're going to talk about Charles Crawford, but we just heard Derek Scott say on the pregame show that, you know, when we've got kids who can play multiple places, we're going to let them do that, and we're going to see Charles Crawford do that tonight.
Yeah, we are going to see Charles Crawford do that. And again, now we're deep enough into the season where these coaches have got a better idea of who their personnel is. I think probably from day one they knew who Charles Crawford was. This is a kid who's going to play a lot of offense. Also, he's going to be important on the defensive side of the ball. He's just too good to keep off the field. Watch for them to split 3 wide left, Crawford, single coverage on the right. If they find that single coverage, that's a cue to them to get Crawford the ball. So we'll watch a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, he's also great on special teams, had a couple of touchdowns on punt returns and kickoffs here this year, so a talented young man. And he was great on our pregame show as he joined us as well. Talented young man on the Aggie side, Vic Lockett, a name that we are used to hearing. Holly, we talk a lot about it at Blunt. We're going to be talking about the head coach of the Blunt Leopards' son here tonight playing for the Jackson Aggies.
Yeah, Kadarian Handy Holly. He's going to play free safety primarily, but he's going to do the same sort of thing as your guy, Dan. He's going to play on both sides of the football as well. He's a great football player. You know, he's got good pedigree in terms of Holly, and he's got offers from Florida as well as Kentucky, so he's going to be a factor in this football game, being the quarterback of the defense playing free safety.
Yeah, came over and had a couple of touchdowns last week. We're catching the ball against St. Paul, so we're probably going to see 11 lined up on that side of the ball here tonight as well. We can't wait. It really could set up a huge showdown. If the Viger Wolves can win this one, they and the St. Paul Saints will be both undefeated in region play for their big matchup next week. But we got to find out what happens here tonight between the Jackson Aggies and the Viger Wolves next here on UTV 44. Jackson Aggies making their way onto the field here at Prichard Stadium. 5A matchup tonight. Jackson and Viger, and the Viger Wolves coming out as well. 5 wins in a row. They've been playing some great defense. Terrell will talk more about that momentarily, but a big matchup here in 5A Region 1. 1 loss for the Jackson Aggies in region play, and 4-0 are the Viger Wolves in region play to start the season here tonight. And senior night, they're honoring the seniors here at Viger. Band, cheerleaders, and football players all being called out by the public address announcer before we got this one started here tonight. Tough loss last week, Dan, for the Jackson Aggies at home against St. Paul's. They were ranked #1 in the state. Those teams have had a pretty good rivalry here as of late, kind of like we saw last week with Blunt. How are they going to respond to their first adversity?
Yeah, the schedule just happens to set up where you've got St. Paul's at home, followed by Viger on the road. So 2 of their biggest games, you could have seen that, seen those coming before the season even started, back to back.
Yeah, talking about getting into the meat and potatoes of the schedule, they are in it.
And let's go down to the sideline now. Tara is down on the Viger sidelines. Good evening, Tara.
Hey, Jim, you know, the past 4 games, Viger has outscored their opponents 170-20, and defensively, they've shut out 3 of those teams. So the Wolves are really going to pose a threat for this Aggies offense. Coach Derek Scott said he feels that his team is reaching their stride and developing into the type of team they want to be. He said, obviously, there's always room for improvement, but he's thinking they're getting warm at the right time coming into this huge region game, guys.
He said they were maybe a little sloppy in the win over Williamson last week, but they were happy to come away with the victory. And now Julius Horn will kick off for the Wolves. And Michael Phillips, one of the 2 running backs, back deep. Darius Prichard, #1 back deep. He took a touchdown back against the Saints last week, 91 yards. Had another one back that was called back. And Viger says we're not kicking it anywhere near him tonight. That's their plan. Camonte Williams also back to the near hash. And Horn will send it up, and Williams will take it at the 16. And he'll be dropped at the 26-yard line. And the Jackson Aggies, averaging 36 points a game on offense, will come out. They've got some weapons on the outside and going to go with a 2 running back system. They'll rotate both Michael Phillips and Jamaski and Chapman in. There's Danny Powell, 6th year at Jackson, 78 and 12. Of course, had that great run at neighboring Leroy and then came over there in 2011. First year over there, goes a perfect 15-0 and wins the state championship.
Yeah, Lev Holly, now the Blunt head coach, was his defensive coordinator for that team, and Lev's son plays on Jackson. We'll talk about that.
Cooper Christian, the quarterback, and give that one off to Chapman, and Chapman breaks a tackle, and he's got a first down for the Aggies up to the 44-yard line. 535 yards coming into tonight's game. Had a big game. Did Chapman 139 against one of the rivals, Thomasville. Up front, Leggett, Rayburn, Roch, Prichard, and Browner up front. Prichard on the outside as well. And there's Kadarian Handy Holly that Vic talked about in the pregame show. Cooper Christian, 5'10", 160-pound junior. Prichard goes in motion. They give it on the inside, and nothing doing there is Frederick Austin, the sophomore, was able to wrap things up.
By the way, Jim, hats off to the city of Prichard, because this field is in pretty good shape. We were down on it much of the pregame, and it looks good.
A lot of football played here. Walker, the defensive end, along with Austin, who just made the stop. Vincent Fair's having a great year at the nose. Thigpen, Mosley, Motti, and Snow are the linebackers. Feltz, 3-year starter at corner. Scott there, and Horn, and the youngster, Terrace Russell. This is Darius Prichard, and Prichard's going to get across the 50 to the 49. Prichard, he is a talented, he's their big deep threat. 16 catches on the year. That's his 6th carry of the season. He can kind of do everything. He'll play some in the secondary as well. He'll return kicks. And it's 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Coach Powell was real excited about that Prichard kid. He wanted to bring that up even when I wasn't talking about him, and said, hey, look for that guy. He makes big plays, and as you can see, putting it in his hands at running back.
Stepping up in the pocket now, and pressure coming, and dropped back. Vincent Fair all the way back to the 48-yard line, able to grab Cooper Christian and throw him down. And Fair with 4.5 sacks now on the year. And you were in some of the defensive meetings with him earlier this week, Dan Brennan.
He threw me out of one of them. But Fair is a great kid. In fact, we generally, when we come on the field, we'll get a chance to introduce ourselves to some of the players. We didn't have to wait on Vincent Fair. He came to us and said, hey, I'm 45. Keep an eye on me.
And he has the sack there, and that'll force the Aggies to punt. Tyler Abston will punt it to Charles Crawford. He's got 2 touchdowns on punt returns last week. Took a short one to the house of just 30 yards and a high kick, and he'll fair catch this one. The 24-yard line, and we see early on that Viger defense that's giving up just 13 points a game and shutouts in 3 of their last 4.
And talking a little bit more about Fair, I think he's one of their leading tacklers. I was talking with one of the coaches, that's my friend. He was telling me about him and says he's real excited about this kid, and he's got a lot of potential.
There's Derek Scott's 2nd year here at Viger, 13 and 7 overall. Went to the 2nd round of the playoffs last year. This penalty going to be whistled. Looks like there was a call whistle there against the Jackson Aggies. Yeah, Coach Scott doing a great job over here. Very complimentary in the pregame show about his assistants that he's assembled, Dan Brennan. I think that's part of the reason you see how well Viger's been playing here as of late. So they mark off the 15-yard penalty on the face mask against the Aggies, and all the way up to the 40-yard line is where the Wolves offense will start.
Yeah, my church member, Ron Coleman, who I talk with every Sunday about high school football, refereeing tonight. So I told him, he's on TV, you better do a good job.
Yeah, we'll give him a little something more to talk about, I'm sure, during the broadcast this week, Vic. Quick out to the far side as they're able to get that one off. Ronald Smith with his 19th catch of the season. And the flag comes in as he got across the 40. As Cameron Williams going to loop that one out for the completion to the big, tall, lanky Smith.
Crawford was out there trying to throw a block for him. Let's see exactly what the flag's all about.
Well, the refs never listen to me week to week. I tell them throw all the penalties on the offenses. Don't call anything on the defenses.
Let's see which way this one's going to go.
See what Ron Coleman has to tell us. Used to be a principal at Blunt as well, many years.
Holding against the Viger Wolves. They've struggled with some penalties here as of late, and that's one thing Derek Scott wanted to see get cleaned up a little bit. There's Ronald Cooper, big tight end, just a sophomore, 6'2", 215, started as a freshman last year for this Viger team.
We've got a few guys that have played since their freshman year. Eric Feltz, 31. You might see him on both sides of the ball, and really good player.
3 picks as a junior.
Back the Wolves up to the 35-yard line and bring up 1st and 15. We'll see Crawford and Ronald Smith to the bottom of the screen.
Got to get your church mate to turn his mic on there, Big Luckett.
Yeah, well,
can you get word to him?
Yeah, Ron, I tell you what, he's kind of hard-headed now. Good guy.
Cameron Williams, junior quarterback. Completed 10 touchdown throws this year in the inside give, and this time we see penetration coming from the Viger Wolves. Marlon Prichard is the first one in there to make the stop. The junior defensive end crashed down and got in there to break that one up. Here's the Viger offense. Look how big they are up front. Christian Skipwith, 320 pounds. McKinney, 275. Ronnie Packer, 306. He's a returning starter as well. Tyreek Sellers, 290. And Demetrius Tillman, also 275. Williams, Crawford, and Cooper can get after it. Widset will get a lot of carries out of the background, and they get it to Crawford. He looked upfield, and he's got some space and makes a nice move. And Charles Crawford spins up to the 48-yard line. He's going to be close to the first down.
One-on-one against Andy Holly out in space right there, and he was able to make the big safety miss him.
I think Crawford was surprised how much space he had when he turned his head after making the reception. Defense for Jackson. And they're giving up just 16 points a game. Bridget King and Skanes up front. Sellers, Ridgway, Carpenter really gets after. Watch number 4 absent there as well. And quickly on 3rd down, the Viger Wolves push ahead. They have the first down into Jackson Aggie territory.
Simple 44 blast with the fullback, getting that A-gap.
We see Adrian Foster, a junior, who's got 4.5 sacks on the year. Limp off early here for Jackson. We'll keep an eye on him. See the pink coming out as this is a Go Build Alabama first down. The pink coming out with Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October.
Viger cheerleaders with the pink bows, too, in their hair.
Pink pylons here tonight. Goalposts wrapped in pink, and lots of pink socks out here. Cameron Williams. Gives it off. This is David Tarvin, the junior. And he pushes ahead, and a flag is dropped late on that one as he's up to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, I think his own man, Raheem McKinney, got in his way. Otherwise, he may be still running.
Viger will rotate in a plethora of backs here tonight. Whitsitt, Tarvin, Dale, Smith. We'll see Charles Crawford get the ball in his hands sometimes back there, maybe even as a wildcat at times. Let's see what Ron Coleman has to say here. Personal foul, face mask. It's a second 15-yard face mask against the Aggies here in the first 4.5 minutes of this game.
It sounds like someone's had some conversation with the refs pregame to say, look out for that.
I didn't think your guy would fall for all that, Vic.
They listened. Oh, yeah, he does have it, a grip there. He turned it loose, not too egregious.
Keyshawn Parker, I didn't really grasp it. He kind of had it in there and didn't yank on it, but still 15, says the official. And now the Viger Wolves in business to the 34.
You know,
make it to the 24.
You don't want to make the drive down to Prichard, then just give Viger 30 yards through penalties on their first drive.
Tarvin tailback, and now Williams rolls out. He's got Green in front of him. Instead fires to the far side, and he's got Charles Crawford, and he'll have that one complete at about the 16-yard line. Crawford, his 24th catch of the season. Yeah. 6 touchdowns already this year receiving.
He had his choice of receivers there, and I was wondering, was he going to hit big Terrence Smith there? I can't wait to see him catch a pass at 6 feet, 250.
Yeah, and Crawford is one of those guys who is pretty much considered the offensive star on this team, and he does not shy away from that role at all.
He loves being on all phases for these Viger Wolves. give. This is Tadarian Dale, his first carry of the night for the Wolves. 2 touchdowns on the year, 39 carries now.
That's the first time Jackson was able to plug up that A-gap, Vic, because they've had some success running straight at it.
Yeah, and this time Smith, they give it to the tailback, and yeah, he was rebuffed by that defense. He got 11 to the football right there.
2nd and 9. Coming up here for the Wolves. 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the year, 874 yards through the air for Williams. Quick out to Crawford. Crawford inside the 15 and inside the 10, and he's down to the 8-yard line. That's a kid who just loves to play football. Loves it on Friday nights.
Yeah, and he really loves it when the ball is coming his way. You get it to him, you're going to get positive yardage. He's almost assured to make the first guy miss if there is a first guy. And right here, they're way off him. And he's able to get it down there closer to that first down.
Yeah, that's the thing that I know is they are giving him a ton of cushion.
The pitch, this is Whitsitt can't hold on to it, and Williams comes all the way back to the 20 to grab it. And a huge loss for Viger here. Wow, they had a lot of open field there and couldn't hold the pitch. Play was well drawn up.
The pitch was a little high, Jim.
Yeah. Pitch wasn't perfect. I think he probably could have got it, but Odell Beckham has got everybody thinking they can catch things with one hand.
Whitsitt, the sophomore. And good alertness by the quarterback, Williams, to go back and get that football. So 4th. Fourth and 12 here. The Wolves will go for it. I'm not sure they're going to get it off. They got the play clock all the way down to 5, and they're going to take a timeout. That's a good timeout here by Viger instead of taking the penalty with just 2 left on the play clock. Inside 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Scoreless. Viger's got it 4th down, and they're down deep in Aggie territory. 4th down coming up after this. 5A football here tonight on UTV 44. See it all the time when you drive by 65 heading north. Prichard Stadium right here. Look at this. This is the hospitality. We've got food being delivered to us at Prichard Stadium. Food and drinks. This is just a wonderful night for football. Thank you all so much coming up to see us. Thank you, William.
Thank you very much. Jeanette Ward is 2 thumbs up. She is too sweet. So she always takes care of us.
Viger takes a timeout there on 4th and 12 after the big miscue on 3rd down. They weren't going to get the playoff, so
Jim, can I get a timeout while I eat here, brother?
I haven't figured out what all this is.
But I bet it's good. So Cameron Williams here on 4th and 12. Has time, zings it over the middle, and it goes through the hands of Ronald Smith. He had him, and Williams put some heat on that one.
He whistled it, huh?
He did, and it went through Ronald Smith's hands. And so the Aggies come up with a stop. We mentioned it in the pregame show a little bit, just about the region standings. You see Viger and St. Paul's both the only unbeaten teams in the region, and St. Paul's has already beat Jackson. So if the Wolves are able to win here tonight, that sets up an undefeated region matchup for the championship next week between Viger and St. Paul's.
I don't want to talk with my mouth full, Jim.
So here come the Aggies, flipped out to the far side. Great stop. Quick pressure coming out, as that was Errol Scott to make the stop on the completion. Cooper Christian got it out to the far side.
Yeah, immediately he saw that ball come out there, and he came up there to make contact. Nice job by Scott there, the cornerback.
No gain on the play. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen for the Aggies. Christian looking right the whole time, throws it in the middle of the field, and wow, some miscommunication, and Charles Crawford was watching that one the whole way.
Yeah, I think the ball kind of got away from the QB there, because definitely no one in the area, and it just may have slipped off his fingers there.
Monty Williams was the closest one to it, and Charles Crawford knows a thing or two about getting after a football up in the air like that, but couldn't quite get there. And so 3rd and 10 here for the Aggies. Christian looking, pressure from the backside. He'll get hit and wrapped up and brought down. Vincent Fair got in there to help after DeAnthony Walker, the sophomore, gets his 3rd sack of the year. And Viger's defense forces a 3 and out. And this Viger defense is as billed coming into the game so far, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, you know what? They've really come out ready to play, and they are definitely getting a lot of pressure on the young quarterback, too, making life a little tenuous for him back there in the pocket.
So James Jackson, a very talented sophomore receiver, back with Charles Crawford. And Tyler Abston back to punt for the Aggies. And Viger should get great field position on the plus side of the 50 here. Low snap and a line drive. And Jackson will take it at the 44. And he won't get much there. He's finished off on the play. A.J. Sellers, the linebacker, made the stop, but Viger with great field position. Hey, if you want to reach out to us during the game, send us a question or a comment. Hey, guys at UTV 44, we'll try to get him in during the game here. We have Ron Coleman, the referee's number. If you could send him a message, turn his microphone on when he's making the call, that would help as well. And you can always send us a text up here in the box. We always appreciate hearing from everybody watching the game. I thought it was great, Dan Brennan, when we were talking to Coach Powell. Hey, Papa Murphy's also are the ones who bring us the email each week. They're taking baked pizzas. And it's pizzas, plural, when Vic Lockett makes the call. I thought it was great when we were talking to Danny Powell, the head coach of the Jackson Aggies, on the field before the game, Dan. And he said he's 2 weeks behind. DVRs every one of our games here on UTV 44. Yeah. Watches them all, but he's just a couple of weeks behind.
A great compliment to our entire staff that Danny up in Jackson is a fan of what goes on and can watch every classification.
They get some tips from these games. And speaking of hey guys, I got to tell you guys, I saw Miss Millie Fritz this weekend at church. She said, "Tell Jim and Dan I love them too, and now I know what a touchdown is." she's north of 75, and she enjoys watching this every single week.
That's it. I'm coming to church with you on Sunday. I've got to meet her.
All right, Miss Millie, we look forward to that. Penalty backs the Wolves up to the 39. Cameron Williams looking now, wants to go downfield, looking for Smith, threw it a little high. Keyshawn Parker, who's got 3 interceptions on the year for the Aggies, was back there with good coverage.
He had a beat on that one, didn't he, Dan?
He did, and also Handy Holly, he had a beat on Charles Crawford the whole time. He never left the slot area, so it was a one-on-one. And a really, really good play by Jackson.
Smith, as we said, good size on the outside. And now we'll see Totrick Hardy come in, another big receiver for the Wolves to line out. Split up to the bottom of your screen. 2nd and 10. Williams with the give on the inside and nothing doing there. Great penetration by Keyshawn Prichard. You know, I've got about a 4 and 11 chance on defense if I call Prichard with the tackle, because there's a lot of them in Jackson. And so that one was Keyshawn Prichard who made the stop. We had Marlon Prichard in on one earlier, but Keyshawn, the junior, came in to make the tackle there for the Aggies.
My guess would be we've got a lot of Pritchards still back in Jackson watching right now.
I would guess.
The game in Prichard, Alabama.
In Prichard, yeah.
My hometown. I love it. Glad to be back.
3rd and 10 for the Wolves. Cameron Williams has some time, wants to go down the middle of the field. He's looking for Hardy, and it's off his hands as Keyshawn Parker came over, but they throw a flag. Parker closed on that ball. Williams wanted Hardy, the junior.
Well, I thought Parker was knowing, just like he should know, that, hey, he's got a right to the football as well. So I didn't see much contact. Let's see what Jared got dialed up here from the replay.
Check it out again. See what you see second time around. I don't know. I didn't see.
It's just saying he got maybe they're saying they got the hand on the back of the jersey. Maybe, yeah. But Parker saying, wow. So that will give Viger a first down.
Yeah, pass interference is just 15 yards, and Ron Coleman was the one educated me on the new rule, 15 yards. And if you get to 15 and it's a first down, it does get on a first down.
Yeah, he did get there a little bit early.
Yeah, second time, better angle, and he was really not going for the ball at all. He just went to the shoulder pads. And,
great job by our crew to get us that one.
That ISO shot.
Yeah, Jackson fans maybe not as happy to see that one, to see that it clearly was a pass interference infraction.
Hey, they want to see the right thing happen. They play the game fair.
Up to the 45. Pitch to the near side. Tarvin trying to turn the corner, and a big lick put on at the near side. And coming over is Joshua Carpenter, the leading tackler for this Jackson Aggies team. And that was somebody that Danny Powell talked about in the pregame when we were down on the field with him, Dan Brennan, just how much he loves how this young man gets out and plays football.
It's funny because coaches just assume kids are going to play hard. They don't always go over the top talking about somebody with their effort because they want their whole team to be that way. But Danny could not go on enough about the effort that is given by that guy every play. Number 4, Joshua Parker, leading tackler, good size, good speed. Carpenter, and good size and good speed.
Dumped out to the far side. They get it to Ronald Smith on second down, and Smith will break a tackle, and he's got a first down. And a big hit put over there again by Carpenter on the far side. Joshua Carpenter, he's a Dan Brennan type high school football player. Those are the kids you just love and love to talk about.
Yeah, not that Dan Brennan played like that, but no, Dan Brennan is a fan of players like that, and I think we all are.
Yep.
You know, and when you talk to Coach Powell, too, you just get this sense this is high school football right now. And can you imagine the number of people in Jackson tuned in right now to this game?
We're so happy to have the Aggies on. Had them on in St. Paul against Spanish Fort in the past, and one of our bucket lists, we want to go to Jackson and do a game. Give on the inside. That's big Terrence Smith. 6 foot, 250-pound blocking fullback.
Big tank coming through there. Get out of the way.
Gets it up to the 30-yard line. Yeah, Legion Field in Jackson. That is where we want to go there and do a game. We haven't been there yet, and that maybe a potential playoff matchup will allow UTV 44 to have us go up there one night, but everybody says the atmosphere is just so great, right? Right in the neighborhood, right there in Jackson. We hope we get a chance.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
Cameron Williams, pressure and drop back to the 39-yard line. That was Terrence Gaines, the junior, with his second sack of the season. Wow, he read that perfectly, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, what a job by him, because, you know, he's almost blinded from where the football really is, and he must just had quarterback responsibility. He said, if he has the ball or not, I'm tackling him, and he did just that.
And Viger will let the clock run out here through one quarter. Good defense being shown on both sides of the football here tonight in Prichard. 5A matchup, Jackson and Viger scoreless here on UTV 44. Yeah, all the fireworks have been on defense here tonight. Scoreless in the first quarter. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas, and our entire UTV 44 crew. 3rd and 12. Look to set up this screen. Charles Crawford has it in his hand, and up the middle he makes it, but it's quickly grabbed and brought down. Scotty Ridgway, the other inside linebacker for the Aggies, makes the stop. It'll bring up 4th down from the 27. And no hesitation here. Looks like by the Wolves to go for it. 4th and a long 3.
Yeah, the last 4th and long, they had a guy open near the goal line where the pass just whistled through his hands.
And now some personnel confusion here for the Wolves. They still have plenty of time on the play clock, though. Still at 10, and now they get Hardy in and a timeout. Nope, going to be a flag. Ooh, 4th and 3 and a flag.
Got a dead ball. Illegal substitution against the offense.
There's a run. You can hear him loud and clear now.
So that's going to make it 4th and 8. Hey, speaking of officials, got this great email from our Papa John's Hey Guys. Papa Murphy's Hey Guys. This one coming from the beach. This is from Jay Thompson. Said, came across the game of the week on TV tonight with Jackson and Viger. First day of vacation in Orange Beach. Since I can't call a game tonight in Kentucky, at least I get to watch one. Love seeing high school officials from different states and how each state differs. Thanks for allowing me to watch.
That is a great email right there. Thank you for watching us tonight.
Have you a part of the deal.
Yeah.
Papa Murphy's delivering us that one to our inbox. And now Viger at 4th and 8. So appreciate Jay watching down at the beach tonight. And now another pre-snap. So this is going to go from 4th and 8 to 4th and 13 without the ball being snapped here for the Viger Wolves.
Jay may be saying, I'm not saying he's saying, but he could be saying,
We got a dead ball. False start. Get the offense.
he could be saying, man, we don't have this kind of speed in Kentucky. There's a lot of speed on the field tonight.
Is he talking about the refs or the players?
Well, I would say the players.
Well, how about that for Viger? So now you're in 4th and go for it inside the 30.
Now you're almost thinking about punting.
And now you
No,
are
they
gonna
are
punt.
punting.
I'm going to punt it, yeah.
Julius Horn will punt from midfield. And not a very good one, as it doesn't even get to the 20. It'll be at the 21-yard line. So, wow, a bad string of work there. All right, let's go down to Tara. She's got the UA Early College interview tonight on the sidelines. Tara.
Thank you, Jim. I'm here with Deja, the recruiting specialist for UA Early College. Now, Deja, for those who don't know, tell us what UA Early College is.
Of course, UA Early College is an opportunity for current high school sophomores, juniors, and seniors to take college credit from the University of Alabama while they're still in high school.
And then what courses do you guys offer?
Well, we offer over 80 course options, either online or on campus, so students have a very good chance of getting their typical core courses for any major out of the way.
And then how do students apply?
The application is actually on our website, which is uaearlycollege.ua.edu, and that's where you can find the application, the transcript, and the essay.
And then I hear that you guys are having some type of mobile reception coming up. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, definitely. That's just an opportunity for parents and students to learn a little bit more about early college and to even hear from some current UA early college students. So if anybody would like to attend that, they can just actually go to our website at uaearlycollege.ua.edu/mobile.
Okay, awesome. And then lastly, how can students take courses with UA Early College?
They can take their courses online year-round, and we also have an on-campus option during the summer.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deja. Back up to you, Jim.
Great
Roll,
information.
Tide, roll.
Great information there, Deja.
We'll roll them up young.
And so big completion, as you saw there, went to Tyler Jackson, and now we got a penalty whistled against the Aggies. And UA Early College, we thank them for becoming a part of high school football here.
Yeah, I wish they would have had that back when I was playing, so that I can get the counselors in high school to start taking the courses for me.
It wouldn't have mattered for me. It wouldn't have helped me in the slightest. So another penalty before the snap. So suddenly now, Jay Thompson down in Orange Beach getting a lot of critiquing opportunities here on the officials, how they call a game up here in Prichard, Alabama.
Yeah, both teams are giving them an opportunity to.
Dead ball. False start. Gets the offense.
Giving them an opportunity to do that.
First and now 20 coming up here for Jackson. A little of this has to be credit given to the defense and what they're doing on each side, confusing the offense, frustrating them a little bit.
Yeah, they've got some athletes that can run to the ball too. They're frustrating them physically as well as they are in any sort of matchups.
So hey, how about Sean Payton, head coach of the Saints, came and talked to the local officials association here on Wednesday. Saints bye week, drove over, met with him over at Davidson High School. So they complete that one. This is Prichard, and he'll get a loss of 1. But Coach Payton came over on his off week to meet with all 185 local officials in the Officials Association and talk to them about officiating and about football. I thought that was really cool that Sean came over and did that.
Yeah, sounds like some good ambassador work there by the NFL.
Pretty cool, and I wonder what his, what the point of his discussion was.
I'll tell you a little bit of what I know he was going to talk about. Christian fires it out to the far side. And he's able to get that one incomplete the first time tonight on the backfield for Chemaski and Chapman. He was talking about how at the NFL level, how coaches are, you know, they're so maniacal on film and breakdown, but how they scout the officials, and they know what the officials, what officiating crew, what they allow them to get away with as far as maybe some movement pre-snap, while other ones don't call it. So
interesting.
Yeah, that's part of the scouting report for sure.
Wow.
3rd and long here for the Aggies. Airs it out to the near side. That's going to be incomplete. I thought, you know, in the NFL you can, I don't know how many times you can do it, but you can quote unquote blackball officials, say, hey, he can't work our game, you know, whatever reason. And Sean Payton's a coach that, you know, doesn't ever do that. You know, there's coaches say, hey, we can't have this guy work our game. It doesn't work. I don't know how much they do it, but Sean Payton's always kind of like, yeah, they're doing a job. You know, they're doing a job, working hard too.
Yeah, do your homework and learn their tendencies like you do your opponent, I guess.
Yep.
And the second question, how can he come to Mobile and not have the great Dan Brennan introduce him, the great MC around town?
Yes, there was a miscommunication somewhere.
Somewhere.
On to punt, Abston. Good kick. Crawford drops it. Ball's loose. And it comes back into Crawford's hand. Watch out. Highlight film may be coming to the 30. Crawford turns on the speed, and he's out across midfield with no flags.
Wow, how did he ever regather that in?
Well, there was an element of luck involved. Watch right here. It bounces right back to him, and then, of course...
And he fights with 2 tackles.
Yeah, the athlete he is.
And watch the block.
Well,
Chemaski and Chapman there. But Crawford all the way up near midfield. I gotta get rid of the highlight film reference. It's got to be like a YouTube. You know, it's going to be like a YouTube reference that would start to see on these great plays.
I'll tell you what, good recovery by Jackson, special teams wise, because it looked like once he escaped, they could have all been way out of place, and he could have been gone.
Give to Terrence Smith. Smith to the 44-yard line. Again, Smith had just 4 carries coming into tonight, but that's his second one already this evening. And
he's a big man carrying the football. You know, if you want to imagine me in a uniform now, that's what I look like. He's got my measurements. I'm 6 feet 250. His is a bit more solid, though.
Inside give to the 42.
Okay, much more solid, Dan.
Hey, I didn't say anything.
Silence was deafening.
Maybe it's some of the strawberries that they brought. Strawberries, grapes up here they brought us in the press box.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much the lasagna, Vic Lockett.
Yeah,
maybe
I'm doing the lasagna. You're doing all that bird feeding.
3rd down and 5 here for the Viger Wolves.
Viger content to run the ball a good bit. Coach, of course, is running some clock. And we are 0-0, nearly halfway through the second period.
Ronnie Williams up to the top of the screen. He'll pitch it off out of the backfield. And first time tonight, Nigel Schamberger with the touch, and he's going to be dropped back for a loss of 4.
Guess who? Prichard. And that is a hard tackle sometimes when you're one-on-one out there, because the back is expected to beat that safety in that position. And I'm sure that Viger coaches are saying that to him. But hats off to Prichard for making that tackle back there deep.
That was Nehemiah Prichard, the sophomore, with the stop there. And a quick 3 and out for the Viger Wolves, and Julius Horn to punt. And Tyler Abston back to return it. Good punt there by Horn, and Abston fair catches it at the 12-yard line. That'll give us a chance to set it down to Tara. She's got a Faulkner State Educator Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm here with Jackson Principal Stuart Etheridge. And Stuart, talk about some of the athletics at Jackson High School.
Well, Jackson has a long-standing tradition of excellence in athletics. We have several state championships, football, baseball, the last in 2011. And in my opinion, we've got one of the best coaching staffs in the state and one of the best head coaches in the state with Danny Powell, who year after year wins state championships, or at least goes deep in the playoffs, starting from Leroy and coming to Jackson. And just proud of everything to be in Jackson.
We love Coach Powell. And then talk about the great kids and the community of Jackson.
That's one of the biggest strong points, in my opinion, of Jackson. Is we're in a rural community, but it's a strong family-oriented community. Just this past week, we took up 1,500 cans for the hunger. A couple weeks ago, we adopted a school in Louisiana and gave gifts and school supplies to them. They're always willing to give a helping hand. Anytime anybody needs anything, we collect money. And they just really a strong family atmosphere.
Awesome. So great. Thank you so much, Stuart. Back up to you, Jim.
Remember, we met Stuart on the field before the Spanish Fort
We did.
game.
Yeah.
Is that last year? Was that 2 years ago?
Couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple years back. Yep.
Jim, you are getting old.
Same birth year as you, Vic Lockett. Just saying.
He doesn't like that, Vic.
Cooper Christian rolling out with pressure coming. Fires it, and that was the pressure from D'Anthony Walker that kind of forced him to throw that one up short.
You know, Cooper's kind of a cool customer under pressure. You know, I've seen him harassed a lot tonight, but he doesn't seem to get too rattled about it. He just gets it out if he gets it out, and if they sack it, you know, come back and play the next play.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. Danny Powell is going to be coaching baseball again. You got to guess this kid's somewhere on that baseball team, too.
Yeah, how about Kadarian Handy Holly now comes in the slot. Had a couple of touchdowns last week offensively. See if they look for number 11. Instead, they go over the middle, and that one's off the hands of the intended receiver, Kemonte Williams. And it'll force another punt situation. You know, you can see when Holly comes on the offensive side of the ball, Dan, that boy, there's great upside there for him. Just looks the part of a receiver as well.
Yeah, that may be where he gets some attention or some love at the college level, too.
I like his size and, of course, plays so well as a safety. You were talking about Danny Powell coming back and coaching baseball at Jackson. Of course, won multiple state championships when he was at Leroy. Hasn't coached baseball since 2011. And now he's going to come back and do it this year for the Aggies. And we'll talk more about that with the low snap. Abston gets it off. Crawford will stay away from that one. So, you know, Danny had a little health scare this offseason, and his sons and wife were maybe not sure they want him to take on coaching baseball. So his son, Drew, who's the basketball coach at Spanish Fort, sends an email to the principal at Jackson and says, hey, don't hire Danny Powell as a baseball coach. He's terrible. Signed a former player. And it didn't work. Yeah. They still hired him to be the great baseball coach. And he's going to be there at Jackson.
Anything to keep Dad healthy.
Yeah, 66.
And I agree with him.
66 years young, and you know, he's a man after my own heart. Why did he not want to coach? Why did he kind of not really want to get back into baseball, Dan? That cold in the early season.
It's ridiculously cold in Jackson in January.
He said, I know it doesn't sleet every game, but dang it, it feels like it does.
Yep, about 70 miles off the coastline. Gets a little chillier up there.
Here comes Viger. Great field position. They've not been able to capitalize. They'll start at the 41. And now up to the 35-yard line. Good give to the near side. That's David Tarbin, the junior, with the carry. Davidson, hey, congratulations, Fred Riley. Riles with his 100th career victory at Davidson last night.
Congrats to him. Good football man.
Brian and Baker, Foley at Spanish Fort tonight. McGill, Tulin, and Mary G. Theodore and Murphy. That's a big one at Ladd tonight in 7A. Robertsdale, BC, Rain, Baldwin County, and Saraland non-region matchup. LaFleur and Blunt and Daphne take it on Gulf Shores. 2nd and 5, and Tarvin is going to get the first down up to the 30-yard line.
Riley got hit with the Gatorade bat like 2 or 3 times. And once you get over 2, it's like they don't like you.
Citronelle and St. Paul's tonight. And Williamson Faith Academy. Wilcox Central at home. Satsuma and Andalusia. Thomasville and Escambia going at it. W.S. Neal and UMS Wright. Bayside taking on Cottage Hill Christian. And Excel also going at it tonight. T.R. Miller, they take on Bayside next week. And Leroy at St. Luke's, and McIntosh and Sweetwater round out the schedule. First down, and good penetration again.
And speaking of other coaches, we've got to give
Jalen King
prayers and speedy recovery to Coach Meredith out at Theodore, who was in that accident, I think, or Bryant High School.
Bryant High School.
Yeah, and I think I think he's gotten out of the hospital, you know, and you know, people don't know it. These coaches are there all day, and that was one of his duties to, you know, be out there helping direct traffic. Right. And sounds like just an unfortunate accident. And he's now in the hospital, correct?
He was over at Singing River over in Mississippi. That was the closest hospital to him at the time of the accident.
So we certainly wish him the best as he and his family is looking at the ball games. He's certainly not coaching right now.
The play clock about to expire, and Viger have to take another timeout here. Viger was second down at the 30-yard line. At some point, Viger's going to have to capitalize on this great field position. They've had great field position all first half.
Playing between the 20s, huh?
Yeah, and they've just not been able to make anything happen there.
And they've had some open receivers, just hadn't connected with them, and just the plays just hadn't been there for them to make it happen. So I agree with you, Jim. They got someone's got to do something. You know, of course, I love defensive battles, but, you know, it's all right to get a field goal here and there.
Already down to 3:11 left here. Hey, trivia time brought to you by New Horizons Credit Union. This is Jackson Aggies celebrating 100 years of football. They've been playing football 4 years longer than Brennan and I have been doing TV games here in high school football.
This is a nearly impossible question here.
So, back in 1916, now there's maybe some question about this, but who was their first game against back in 1916? Now, so you got to kind of think about maybe teams around them that have also been playing football a long time.
Well, I would say this. You've also got to try and figure out, did certain towns and communities even exist in 1916?
Yeah. Spanish Fort was not formed yet in 1916, so we'll tell you that.
It was just good hunting ground at that time, probably, right?
Most everything was just good hunting ground back then. 1916.
This is the UA Early College High School Football Game of the Week here on UTV 44. And it's a good one here tonight in 5A. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kehos, and our entire UTV 44 crew. Brian Anderson, our statistician, and roll out Cameron Williams. Now a flag as he throws it to the near sideline, incomplete, and that might be a hold all the way back at the 41.
Got to recognize Jalen Wissett, you know, picking up that blitzer there as a running back, because it would have been dead before it started had he not made that block.
Yeah, boy, tough spot foul there. That one's all the way back.
Wow.
The Wolves way back because he was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He had rolled way back deep in the pocket, and it's going to be all the way to the 50. And this will bring up 2nd and 30 for the Viger Wolves.
I would not be surprised to see something very quick to the outside. Charles Crawford, and see what he can do. Crawford is split wide closest to us on the 50.
Also Ronald Smith, number 12, big lanky receiver. They like to go up to when they get a chance instead of draw. And Williams, for the first time tonight, pulls it down, and he'll get 5. He'll bring up 3rd and 25.
Yeah, he did that a little bit too quick. I didn't give the inside linebackers a chance to bail out of there.
If you're just joining us, Viger comes in this game with a record of 5-2. They lost the first 2 weeks, both non-region games. Their rival Blunt, 29-20. And they went up and played 7A Baker, 28-16. But now they've won 5 in a row, 3 of the last 5 by a shutout. And they're working on one here tonight so far as well. But they're also being shut out. So we've got to get something going on the offense. But
I'm enjoying it, though, Jim.
3rd and 25. I'm with you. Pressure coming. Williams going to pull it down and tries to make a move, and he gets to the 34-yard line, and he'll bring up 4th and 13 from kind of no man's land here at the 34.
Is that Ivan Stallworth that set up and made the play, man?
Yep, nice job, wasn't it?
Great job by Stallworth. Just shutting it down right there.
Yeah, he came up there, squared his shoulders up, got his feet not too wide outside of the base of his shoulders, which is the way they coach him. Kept his eyes on the waist and didn't let it go for the fakes and head moves, and just, hey, sit down right here, young man.
Technique really kicked in right there.
It was. Caught your eye, didn't it?
Yes, it did. He wasn't just grabbing.
No, exactly.
4th and 13. The Wolves like how their defense is playing, and they'll go for it from the 33 here. And we'll get another timeout. And that's the last one for the Viger Wolves here. The first half. Let's get out of Tara. She's got our Scholastic Athlete of the Week, this time from Jackson.
Thank you so much, Jim. I have our scholar athletes. Dad, Marcus Stallworth Sr. and Marcus Stallworth Jr. is out there on the field. So first off, Marcus, why is your son so successful academically?
Well, first of all, we give God the glory. And then second of all, he's just a hard-working student. He comes in every afternoon, gets straight into his books. And I give my wife a lot of credit as well. She helps him with his homework every night, and he has a very supportive family, siblings that support him in his academics. He has a sister that is a graduate of South Alabama in nursing. Marnita Stallworth, Amber Stallworth, that just recently graduated from the University of Southern Miss in criminal justice. And his biggest support is his baby brother, which is Kason Stallworth, that just started kindergarten.
Awesome. Southern Miss to the top, and I love the shout out to the mom. And then Marcus, how do you feel about his athletic performance?
Well, I'll tell you what, actually last year he stepped up his game, and this year he's just, has really excelled on the field as well as in the classroom with his academics. And so I am very proud on behalf of me and my wife. We're just so proud of Marcus Stallworth for just his performance that he's been showing here in the past few games, and we're just really proud of him.
Awesome. Thank you.
Number 13.
Tipped up in the air, and James Jackson, the sophomore, with his third touchdown of the season. And it's not how they drew it up on 4th and 13, but wow. DB from Jackson goes up, gets a hand on it, and then it goes off, I think, another Viger player's hands. And James Jackson, let's watch the replay here.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Derek Scott will take points any way he can get them, and I'm certainly sure he'll take this one here. Tipped, drill, great concentration by the receiver to keep his eyes on the football, and he gathers it in, takes it for a touchdown.
Keyshawn Parker, who's got 3 picks on the year, got the hand on it, but James Jackson able to stay focused and comes up and hits the deflection, and he's got the touchdown, and the Viger Wolves have the lead. And the PIT by Eric Feltz is good, and Viger has got it on top by a score of 7-0 with an exciting play late here in the first half. Good matchup in 5A between Jackson and Viger here on UTV 44. Just a minute and a half to go in the UA Early College Game of the Week here. First half, Jackson and Viger, and even the play the results in a touchdown is good defense. They get pressure on the quarterback, they tip the ball, and however, the receiver able to stay focused. James Jackson, the sophomore, comes up with the catch and the touchdown for the Wolves.
Ironic luck on the side of number 13.
They were at 2nd and 30 on that drive. Got it to 3rd and 25. And then on 4th and 13, they go for it. And they get
He'll be telling his grandkids about that, and they'll be like, no, Paul.
Kick to the far side. And
that's why you got a DVR.
Yeah.
Out of bounds.
Probably by then, everything will be on DVR on your wrist.
Hey, continue on there. Marcus Stallworth, he goes by Ivan, 3.96 GPA. Boy, you could just tell he gets it from mom and dad. Very impressive.
Structure is there, isn't it?
No question. Football, National Honor Society, all kinds of other clubs going to either, he's either going to South Alabama or where, Vic? I can't see it on the screen here. I can't see it.
No, I can't see it either.
Can't even get Vic to say it, to talk about where the young man has a dream to go to college, either Auburn or South
This
Alabama.
is the University of Alabama Early College Game of the Week.
So congratulations to the entire Stallworth family, and here comes
great family. Starts with Christ and from there on down.
Gets it out to the near side, and up near midfield is Jamaski and Chapman, and he's going to have a first down here for the Aggies. And Jackson has 3 timeouts here, and they got to go build Alabama first down at the 49-yard line. And Viger will get the ball to start the second half.
I don't think this Viger defense can play much better than they have so far in the first half.
Cooper Christian fires it to the far side, and he's got Prichard, and Prichard slips a tackle. And he gets up to the 40, trying to get the first down, and finally brought down on the far side. Levanta Hunt came and made the tackle, and Jackson will take a timeout as he's just a little short of the first down.
Yeah, you know who else was over there too? Not from a linebacker position, from the nose guard position.
Yes.
Vincent Fair.
Yes.
Hand in the ground, play nowhere near him, and yet he helps make the play over by the side.
And Hunt's the defensive end that came over to assist.
Great. That's
what you got to have. Folks running to the football, I'm sure coaches will give them a pat on the back. Coach Scott and Bradley Craig on that side.
The UA Early College Football Game of the Week here on UTV 44, brought to you by the Sheriff's Office of Mobile and Baldwin County, and also the Drug Education Council. Go build Alabama. Bring miss our first downs every week, go to Alabama.com and Pepsi halftime show again this year. From our friends over at Buffalo Rock and Pepsi here on UTV 44 with 2nd and 1 coming up for the Jackson Aggies at the 41. Dan Brennan trying to decide if he can make it to halftime before getting into lasagna. Can he have 38 seconds of patience?
And we got to figure out who to thank for all this. It's outstanding.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Cooper Christian rolls to the left, pressure coming, and he'll get dropped. Frederick Austin, the sophomore, came over and made the stop, and Jackson will take another timeout. Good coverage downfield by the DBs here of Viger as Cooper Christian just had nowhere to unload the football, and Frederick Austin will be calling his number for a couple of years to come on Friday nights.
I think people are going to come try to take a look at him. Sophomore, 6 foot 250, and runs like that from the defensive line position. Really good effort.
Back-to-back tackles there. This Viger defense, they've been opportunistic this year. 20 takeaways, 10 interceptions, 10 fumbles, and giving up just 37 points in the last 5 weeks, and 20 of those last week. Of course, they had the 3 shutouts in a row. Shutout Faith, Wilcox Central, and also LaFleur. And then kind of pulled away from Williamson last week, 32-20 to win that one.
Much of that had to do with Charles Crawford on special teams.
Yep. Had 2 touchdowns, one on a punt, one on a kickoff. We're talking about how great this defense was against LaFleur this year. They had 3 interceptions on 3 consecutive plays.
Wow.
And LaFleur is a much improved team this year. Taurus Russell, Eric Fritz, and Aaron Williams all had the picks. Dumped out to the far side. And now we see Kendarius Handy Holly with his first big play of the night and up to the 26-yard line. And you can see the explosiveness, and he's upset with himself he didn't break that one.
Yeah, he's explosive, and they really blocked it. Everything went perfect for that particular play for Jackson, Vic.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm going to tell you, I'm impressed with Cooper Christian. If he gets some time or if the receivers are open, he got a nice little delivery.
Jackson used the timeout there. The clock would have stopped when the chains, as they got the chains reset, but Coach Powell takes it here, and now you've got 25 seconds, 25 yards to go, 19 seconds to go. Either work it to the outside, you work one over the middle of the field, and if you're short of the first down, it's really going to make a challenge if you want to try to get your kicker out there to try to get 3. So I don't think maybe you see something down in the end zone. Look for Darius Prichard, number 1, and Kendarius Andy Holly. This is where he was dangerous last week against St. Paul's, and he'll line up to the top of your screen to the set. 5 wide receivers here for the Jackson Aggies. Prichard was clapping like he wanted it. Tipped up in the air, and there's another one of those turnovers picked off. Kamal Mahdi comes up with a pick for the Viger Wolves, and the linebacker up to the 30-yard line as the ball got tipped. And takeaway number 21 for the Viger Wolves.
Yeah, I think what happened was Holly got drilled.
Yeah, the ball kind of got there simultaneously as the defender. It was a pretty good delivery again,
yes,
I thought, but just couldn't pull it in right there with the defensive back crashing in on him as the ball gets there.
Viger causes this turnover. Watch the hit on Handy Holly right here. Actually, that was not Holly, was it?
It was not. Tipped up in the air, and that was Derek Boykin. Got a hand on it.
Yeah, excuses Holly.
And an opportunistic Viger defense.
The field just shrinks in as you get closer to the end zone. And they shrink it and squeeze it and get the ball. These Wolves.
Cameron Hughes, no taking a knee here for Viger. Heaves this one up the near side, and that'll be out of bounds. Then it'll bring the first period to the first half to a close. We get a flag all the way back at the 20-yard line. Intentional grounding. Is that the call? Is it intentional grounding?
No, I think it was something on Jackson's going to extend this half.
Yeah,
Is it a personal foul, roughing the passer?
I don't know. I didn't have to see what Ron has to tell us, but yeah, I guess they may get a free play here. Untimed down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, get the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So we'll have an untimed down here. Third 15-yarder against Jackson here in the first half, and at the 45. Do you think there's any chance Charles Crawford may be around this football if things go well for Viger?
Yeah, that could be. But they've got more weapons than just him.
So this will be the last play of the first half, barring another defensive penalty. Hughes will be dropped. Again, coming up with the stop, Jalen King for Jackson comes up with the stop. And it's 7-0 here at the half. Viger able to complete a 4th and 13 for the touchdown. It's the only score we've had here in the first half. Two defensive teams that have played well. As we'll wait as Tara will get down, and she is now caught up with Coach Derek Scott. Tara.
Coach, you said that you were going up against a trying Aggie team tonight. You put up a crucial 7 points on 4th and 13 going into the half. How are you going to extend this lead in the second half?
Well, we want to run the ball. We got to find a way to run the ball. We got kind of lucky right there on that play. We want to do some things. We want to do something that's consistent and where we can consistently move the ball. So.
And then talk about that interception that you had with seconds left on the clock. How are you going to use that momentum going into the third quarter?
Well, we're going to go talk to our guy about taking advantage of opportunities right there. We gave up some stuff right there in the passing game. We want to get that correct in the second half. But we want to definitely go out and keep the same intensity, keep the same level of play. And let's just go and play Viger football.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Coach Scott happy that his team on top 7-0 here in the first half. And
well said and well put, too.
Yep, what a first half. We had great defensive football, and that is where we are. And let's go back and look at our player of the game. Speaking of defense, McLaughlin likes when he sees defense. Portland Williams, one of his 2 picks last week.
You know how hard it is to become player of the week on the Brunt team and not be Kadarius Toney? He must have played a well of a game, my Dan.
Came up with
no kidding.
A couple of takeaways, and that whole defense played so well.
I'm proud of the voters out there recognizing the talent on the opposite side of the football, because Jim, as much as you hate to hear it, sometimes the defense wins.
They got us like this football, dude.
You like fireworks.
Here's the second one. That was the second interception there, and we'll give you 3. And you know what? We got some defensive kids making a name to want to be the defensive player, to be the player of the week on that side of the ball here tonight, and we'll give you a chance to vote on it at the end of tonight's game. Go to local15tv.com. Premier Motorsports every week gives you the player of the game, Tank Brown Award. Tank Brown, of course, very well known up in these parts. 7-0 our score. Viger has the lead. We'll come back. Pepsi halftime show coming up after this here on UTV 44 from Prichard Stadium. Stadium, the home team Viger on top of the Jackson Aggies by a score of 7-0. Pepsi halftime show now, and let's go down and enjoy the Jackson band. Always a great night in Prichard when we get to hear the Viger marching band, and we'll do it right now on the Pepsi Halftime Show. College Game of the Week here on UTV 44. Jackson. Now they've got they'll kick off here to start things. They're down 7-0 to the Viger Wolves. Binion right down the middle of the field, and the high hopper taken at the 30-yard line, and up to the 40. The Viger Wolves will have it. Tadarian Dale, running back, showing good hands there. And we'll see the Viger offense come out. Only one touchdown there in the first half. Both defenses playing very well. Viger forcing the turnover there right before half as Jackson had moved it down. And now looks like we might see the Wildcat coming out with Charles Crawford in behind center to open things up here in quarter number 3 for the Wolves. And a flag. We're going to have too many, maybe too many men. 1, 2, 3.
Legal substitution out of the block, which is not what you want to start the half off with, huh, Dan?
12 on the field.
No, you don't. That's the first time we saw the Wildcat with Crawford. I thought we might see a little bit in the first half, too.
And I'm not sure he needs the extra blocker.
Get the offense.
Yeah, one of the receivers probably didn't know they wasn't supposed to be out there. So
you can go out, go out there with 10. Give Crawford a little more room.
1st and 15. Back to the 35. Crawford takes it, wants to get to the outside, and he's got a hole. Look at the dust he kicks up off his cleats across midfield, and he's out of bounds inside the 45.
His body language just tells you how much he loves it, how much he loves carrying the football, how confident he is when he gets it thrown to him, snapped to him, given to him, whatever.
A good seal block there from Christopher Skipwith there on the left side, Dan, and I know that's someone near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, I'm, of course, on the board of directors of Light of the Village, which is a Christian ministry right in Alabama Village, and Chris is one of the young people that have been coming there since he was, he wasn't 6'2", 320 when he showed up, I can tell you that.
Second-year starter, one of the captains for tonight's game as well, and here's Crawford again and up the middle, and he's inside the 35 to the 34-yard line.
And that little patient step there looks like Le'Veon Bell there setting his blocks up.
Yeah, and I got to say that Skipwith threw a nice trap block on that one.
Look at the first half there. Just total yards, 99 for Viger, 86 for Jackson. You see the great defense on display. Look at that, 33 rushing yards combined between the two teams.
Hard to believe.
These are two teams that like to run the football. Last week,
I think that has changed so far on these two carries here by this Wildcat back.
Jackson only had 91 rushing yards last week against St. Paul's. And now up the near side, here comes Charles Crawford, and Crawford stays on his feet, puts a big hit on Keyshawn Parker.
Hit and a get off me stiff arm.
Crawford, 180 pounds, and Derek Scott says, I know I'm a little biased, but number 4 for me, he's the best player in Mobile. He's the best football player in Mobile.
Well, he went into halftime and told him that and say, hey, you're playing quarterback from the block. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Hit and
well, it gets the offensive line energized, too. You can just see that when they're moving the chains, when they're making big gains, they block a little bit better.
Crawford again waits for the block. Gets to the edge and gets more and spins still on his feet inside the 10. And a host of Aggies will force him out of bounds.
Look out, Tara. There's a football game going on, sweetheart. About to run into our girl over there.
Look at how patient he started with that run, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, and I've never seen a play be successful when a back turns his back to the defense, but he just did it.
Yeah, he defies a lot of the laws. He just plays.
Gets 8 on first down, and now we'll go back to the traditional set and bring Cameron Williams back at quarterback.
I don't think I would do it.
Might have just needed a breather after.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
It would be a quick one.
2nd and 3. Now Williams, he wants to keep it, tries to dance to the right side, and he lunges forward. He'll have the first down here for the Viger Wolves.
You know, when I was visiting the school on Wednesday, they had to actually pull out kind of early because they had to get to the Crichton Optimist Club lunch. Crawford was the special teams player of the week with his performance last week against Williamson.
You weren't surprised, were you?
In a landslide vote.
Yeah. This is a big spot here for this Jackson defense.
Boy, I thought he had it. I thought he had it kind of easily, actually. And
that's a closer look.
yeah, the official on the near side looked like he had indicated he had plenty of room for the first down. But we'll see the measurement.
You weren't surprised, were you?
And it is a Viger Wolves first down.
Confirmation.
First and goal here for the Wolves, and we'll see if they go back to the Wildcat. Indeed they do with Charles Crawford. He's been Mr. Everything on this drive. Hasn't looked to throw it at all.
How about the jump pass right here?
No.
He's 1 for 2 throwing it from the quarterback position.
That's not going to happen, Vic.
Okay.
Terrence Smith goes in motion to the right, and then he goes in motion before the snap. And, you know, that's not on Terrence Smith because Charles Crawford's clapped like he wanted the snap that he's been doing, and Smith heard it, and Smith took off.
5-yard penalty.
In the center.
Replay first down.
Just didn't send it back to him.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't alone. Half went, half stayed.
That's a killer for the offense, though.
Yeah.
You don't like that.
First and goal back at the 11-yard line.
And Jackson gets a break right there. And that could be a big break.
Crawford stays in here at quarterback. Takes the snap, rolls out to the right side. Looking for a block, gets it, turns it back to the inside, and puts down around the 5-yard line.
You know what? I don't think from the blocking scheme I saw, I don't think they changed the play. I think they ran the exact same play.
Yeah, no
which
doubt.
Basically was a power to the right for Crawford.
Let him pick a hole, just get out of his way.
Yep.
Ronnie Williams with a good job blocking on the outside over there. Second and goal. Up for the Wolves. Now they bring Crawford out, and so they also take your most dangerous weapon off the field here from a receiving standpoint, but now they just line it up, double tight ends, under
Mono
center.
and mono here. 10 on the clock.
David Tarvin, the tail of the tandem, takes the handoff, and he's hit and driven back in third and goal.
You know, I think that's to the advantage of Jackson and how they play. I think they'd rather play their mono and mono game and just do their
Coming
good
straight
fits.
at you, yeah.
Yep, do their good fits and say, hey, we'll be in the right place. And then if we're not in the right place, the second level will be in the right place.
Jackson actually got some penetration on that play. Not only in the right place, but on the right side of the line of scrimmage as they got some penetration against that Viger offensive line.
I've used that dime that I've been using to get me all the way down the field, and I just wouldn't change my mind down here.
Third and goal from the 6. And now they line up Crawford at tailback.
Yeah, he's got the most instinct.
Dale at fullback. They give it to Crawford, trying to stretch it to the near side with a straight arm, and he's brought down, and a flag thrown in the middle of the field. But that's sophomore Nehemiah Prichard making the tackle, and that's a holding call.
Yeah, good sportsmanship out of Keyshawn Parker there after the tackle. Was going to help his man up.
So you stopped him there on third down.
Yeah, I was thinking going the same direction, but I probably would have pitched it to Crawford and let him just be able to use that vision and those moves all together there.
Yes.
To the wide side of the field.
Yep, there it is, right in the middle of the screen. You saw it there. So they haven't marked off the penalty yet.
See if they decline it.
Yeah, that's it. I think it.
Gets the offense, 10 yards from the spot at the 5. Replay, third down.
Give him an extra down.
Back to the 15-yard line.
But you give him 2 downs to make 15 rather than 1 down to make 7.
And now another pre-snap violation against the Wolves. I was going to move them back to the 20. They've really struggled pre-snap down in the red zone here tonight with the penalties. And so 3rd and goal from just inside the 20.
Yeah, they're going to push themselves into a point where the field goal is going to be iffy.
Crawford will split out to the bottom of the screen. Instead, they look the other way, throw it, and some miscommunication as they try to get it to Ronald Smith, who was covered over there by Kadarian Handy-Holly. And now 4th down and goal from the 19 coming up.
Now, this series here, Coach Scott is going to use as some great coaching points, and he's going to get this cleaned up, I'm certain, next week through practice, because, you know, they got to fall all the way down there deep in the opponent's territory, and then they just went into backpedal mode.
Well, and they did
on mistakes.
They got there one way, and they regressed another because they really got it on Crawford in the Wildcat.
Yeah.
And then when they got down there, Crawford was winded for one play where they took him out. That had been the strength of the offense on this
offense.
A little bit.
4th down, they'll go for it. Play clock now down to 7. Cameron Williams feeling pressure from the backside. He's going to be hit and wrapped up and brought down. Jalen King with a sack for the Aggies all the way back at the 28-yard line.
Well, the only thing I think could have went worse than that is it would have been an interception for a touchdown.
It went backwards, but
certainly
give King credit right here.
Making the play.
Yeah, he makes the play. Gets some help in the backfield, and that is a big positive play for this Jackson defense.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, too. Yeah, give credit to that Jackson defense being stout, too, as they went down the field on him.
All right, let's check it with Tara. She was able to catch up with Coach Powell coming off the field. Tara.
Thanks, Jim. Coach Powell said that Viger's just outplaying them right now, and he said that it's going to take a whole team effort if they're going to turn this game around. He said offensively, they're going to have to find bodies and block. Guys, back up to you.
Oh, they bring in a little tit for tat here as you put Charles Crawford at quarterback, and now Danny Powell says,
too, huh?
yeah, he says we're going to go ahead and bring in Kadarian Handy-Holly at quarterback, and he's got a big gain out across midfield.
Yeah, so you take your best athlete, again, you just get him the ball from the snap. That's what Viger did, and look at the explosion of of Holly with that big body, man. He can go.
And they haven't been able to get it to him through the air here throughout tonight. And now he looks right up the middle, and some dirt coming off his cleats as well to the 35. I'd be okay if we just watch this from both teams for the rest of the football game.
You know, when Lev would say dinner's ready, you look up and the kid be at the table. I don't care if he was 3 blocks away.
And Viger takes a timeout defensively. They want to adjust how things have been.
Yep.
How things have been going. And how about this Viger defense?
Well, I'll tell you what, and meeting with Kendall Goodwin on Wednesday and watching some of their defensive meetings going on, and just kind of having a word with him at halftime here as he headed down to the field at halftime. You could see he had a good feeling for what they had done to that point. The difference is obviously the attack that Jackson has brought now here in the second half with Handy-Holly out of the Wildcat. That's a different set of circumstances to try and defend, obviously.
Okay, let's update you on some other scores going on. Baker all over Alma Bryant 35-0. Bayside 41-6. Lead over Cottage Hill Christian. Robertsdale with the lead over BC Rain 27-12. Daphne 38-0 over Gulf Shores. They got a big matchup with Blunt next week. Daphne's righted the ship after 2 tough losses to start the season.
Yeah, they really have.
Blunt 42-0 over LaFleur. Same score. McGill leads Mary G. 21-7. Murphy a lead at Ladd over the Panthers. Maurice Robinson hurt. Quarterback for Murphy has only played 1 series in that game. Sarah Land leads Baldwin County 28-14. Here we go, first down. And this time it's Tyler Abston with his 7th carry of the season.
Nice job by Frederick Austin to get rid of the offensive lineman and make the tackle there. 6 foot, 250-pound sophomore defensive end for Viger.
We'll see Cooper Christian come back in at quarterback. Michael Phillips is the running back. Handy-Holly will come in motion and take the handoff, and he gets through a little gap And he's down to the 22-yard line. There's a flag back at the 33. It looks like this one's coming back.
Nice move there by Holly right there to make himself get into the open field. Good pursuit by Kamal Maldi.
Nice move, but he's got to watch how he's holding on to that football.
Yeah, he got it away from his body too much.
He did. It's Marcus Lewis. He's a little slow to get up in the holding call. Jackson back to the 43-yard line.
These defenses have left these offenses just chopping wood, just doing whatever they can to move the chains. It's been tough sledding for both offenses tonight.
2nd and 18. Darius Prichard split to the bottom of the screen. He's also the big play receiver. Andy Holly comes in motion. He may want to throw it. Pressure coming. He gets away from it back at the 45, still on his feet, and he'll get dropped at midfield with pressure finally getting up to him from the backside. Fair was in there to slow him down, and then finishing things off, Frederick Austin. But you could see the slipperiness and elusiveness of Andy Holly on that one.
I think he wanted to throw back to the quarterback, and I saw it there and open, but he just never got a chance to set up and sling it.
All the way back at the 50. Watch here. He was looking to throw and then pretty poised and cool as he broke one tackle. That was Austin whose tackle he watched. Now watch number 90. He's the one who ends up coming up and helping finish off the play after Vincent Fair helped get the stop.
Yeah, this Viger defense really goes at it really hard.
And Jackson takes a timeout on 3rd and 25 coming up, and there's Danny Powell. Danny Powell, one of just 7 coaches in Alabama history to win 5 state football championships. 4 at Leroy, 1 in Jackson, and that kind of made a little news up around that area when he left Leroy to come to Jackson.
Can you imagine? And, you know, it's basically just across the river is what it is. And you cross that river and end up in Clark County, and right there is the city of Jackson, and right away you start seeing signs for the stadium.
He said he's going back to coach baseball. He's already in the Alabama Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame. He's already there, and now he's coming out of 5 years retirement to get back in the dugout to coach for Jackson in the spring. And he's not thinking baseball right now. He said, you know what your mom would say, Vic? Is this a tussle, Vic Lockett?
This is one of those tussles, bro. A little bit more on Coach Powell. You could tell this is a kid guy that just loves being around kids and coaching them and making them better men.
3rd and 25.
Done it a long time.
Yeah, this is his calling, and he's living in his calling. God has blessed him with
Cooper
it too.
looking on the far side, fires it, tipped and incomplete as he couldn't get it to Tyler Jackson, just a little over his head. And
wow.
He had some space down the far sideline.
Cooper even sidearmed it. That thing just got there in a hurry, too, Vic. He does have some arm talent.
Yeah, he does. That was a little bit off target, but he definitely got the distance for it.
So Tyler Abston on the punt, and now you've got James Jackson, who has the only touchdown in the game, and it's a fake straight up the middle on 4th and 25, and Abston will come up 14 yards short, and it had to be his own call. I mean, a straight just pull it down and run. I think the young man saw the middle of the field open and maybe didn't really realize how far he had to go.
He's got some jets. There were just too many green jerseys back there.
Yeah, I don't think that was a kid doing that on his own, because let me tell you, Coach Stallings used to tell our punter, if you see him go and just turn around, go ahead and take it. And as soon as he leaves, the special teams coach said, don't you ever do that.
That's funny.
What did our college coaches say when they had
not much.
Yeah, there's Coach Powell. So again, good field position for the Viger Wolves at the 40. And now Cameron Williams wants to pull it down. He got a block, but this one's coming back. That was Crawford with the block at the 50. Big block. But the flag's all the way back at the 38-yard line. Holding call. That wipes out the big play, and also I'm going to drop him way back. How about the block by Crawford down here to the near side? Just every play for that young man. Ron Coleman.
We got holding on the offense. 10 yards from the start of the 5. Replay down.
Crawford's like, I'll be the star of the play even when I don't have the ball. I'll be the guy that Jim Cox is talking about.
All the way back to the 28-yard line. First and Airport Boulevard here. Williams, same play to the near side. He's tripped up at the 29. Let's go down to the sideline, and another Gulf Coast offices, Alexander
Thanks so
Shannara.
much, Jim. I'm here with Cameron Williams' parents, Mike and Valerie Williams. Mike, how is Cameron able to be so successful academically?
Well, I mean, he's always chose to be the top of his class. He's always come home, studied hard, always loved ball, but he always said, Dad, my academics are more important. And I've been very blessed with this kid to be the way that he is.
Smart young man. And Mom, we all know that he's great at football, but what are some of his hobbies outside of football?
Cameron has a huge heart. He loves giving and helping others. Cameron has been volunteering at Augusta Evans School since he was about 6 years old. He loves those kids there at Augusta Evans.
Awesome. Well, on behalf of the Gulf Coast Law Offices of Alexander Shannara, we'd like to present you with this plaque and a $250 cash scholarship. Thank you so much, guys. Back up to you, Jim.
Congratulations to Cameron. Wow, what a great year. He's had 4.0 honor student, ambassador, Cisco Networking Academy, Junior Civitan Club. Wants to go to school and study sports medicine.
Yeah, there was a funny moment at practice the other day where Derek Scott said to him, as a quarterback, he didn't recognize something, and he said, you got a 4.1 and you didn't see that? So everybody on the team is very aware of what this young guy does away from football and the way he represents himself.
Yeah, I love hearing he's been volunteering at Augusta Evans School as well. So
special.
Hey, that was a big play there. King with a big hit on Charles Crawford, who limped off on that play, but then we saw Ivan Stallworth also limp off for Jackson. So 3rd and 17. There, Williams, all kinds of time, rolls out on the right, still looking to buy some time, fires it up, and he's able to get it and dropped on the far side. Wow, looked like he had a chance. James Jackson couldn't hold on to that one, and he said, that one's on me. Made the great tip catch in the first quarter, but Jackson will now force a punt.
Boy, he was open.
Wolves.
He was open. That was a first down.
And Cameron Williams with great poise there as he rolled out, kept looking downfield. Pretty good coverage, but then, you know, it's going to break down at some point, Vic. You can only cover him or hold him so long, right?
Exactly. And then the key point you said, the quarterback kept his eyes downfield, knowing that he was going to find somebody open all that time, and he wasn't being harassed. He just actually took himself out by just drifting over to his right too much.
Julius Horn to punt from the 20. Boy, that holding call really hurt the Wolves, in a snap over his head. Horn all the way back inside the 20 and just falls on it at the 13-yard line.
Jackson with a grand opportunity. Let's just see if they can capitalize on it now. Special teams being special in a different way, Dan.
Yep. Boy, and Horn with Prichard right there just fell on it and at the 13-yard line. Boy, you go back to first down, you had the big run, comes back on the holding call, and it sets you back, and now you're down deep, and this is the deepest Jackson's been all night.
It was a play like that that was a part of the big victory for South Alabama over San Diego State. That game was really tight. San Diego State, the snapper, left one way high, and South Alabama was able to capitalize. Let's see if Jackson can do the same.
Ken Handy Holly will come in at the Wildcat again. He's going on the right side, goes up the middle, and Viger's defense led by Vincent Fair able to shut him down on that one.
Well, he's excited about it.
He is. He's excited about everything.
He should be. It's big-time football, big-time program here. University of Prichard, Viger High School. So, hey, show out when you make a play.
D'Anthony Walker helped on the stop to clean it up as well. And Andy Holly heads off to the sideline. Like he was maybe holding his left hand a little bit.
Shoulder or hand, huh?
He took a big pop. Another flag here on Jackson. Legal substitution.
Yeah, that had to do with Andy Holly leaving the game, I think. Boy, these teams have hurt themselves in the red zone big time.
Jim Bibby stranded in Florida because of the hurricane watching. He was at Disney. They shut down Disney. Just the 4th time ever Disney closed down. So I'm not sure if the Bibby family got thrown out prior to Disney being shut down. I haven't got the full story.
You left because they closed.
He was stranded down there, but he's been watching the game online. Jumped on a Local 15 TV to watch the game online while it rains in Florida.
I'm glad he's safe and okay with his family.
Jackson gonna have to hurry. They get it and they give it off. This is Darius Prichard. He wants to get to the outside, but nothing doing there, and he'll end up being driven back for a loss. Jared Mosley with a big hit on that one. There's a flag on the play.
Well, you talk about pursuit and playing inside out, and that guy was pretty slippery.
He was, but Viger had numbers on that side of the field. Let's see what the flag's all about now. But we've had plenty of laundry lately.
Yeah, tough to try to run toward West Mobile on this team.
No.
Old dirty laundry out here in Prichard again.
Yep, and this one might cost.
Ooh, against the Viger Wolves.
Wow.
Looks like it was just the. Ooh. Thought it was maybe it was just the 5-yard variety, not the 15.
Defense, hands good to the goal. Replay 2nd down.
And I thought that might have been automatic, but not necessarily true in high school.
Yeah, just the 5-yard variety. 2nd and 8 here.
Well, he said half the distance, though. I would have thought it was the flagrant one, but that's something we'll talk about Sunday.
There you go. Yeah, you're right. So you're right. It must have been the 15 minutes. Give. Nothing doing there. Jamaski and Chapman. Tough to go between the tackles here tonight.
For both teams. But this Viger defense, they are really an impressive bunch, not just from a talent standpoint, but they have got it's kind of a lot of pride in what they do out there. You can see.
Cooper Christian looking, wants the fade pattern and intercepted as Andy Holly wasn't ready for the ball to be coming that way, and it's easily picked off for the 4th time this year. Eric Feltz with the pick and some miscommunication. And how about the turnover? You start the drive at the 13, and you turn the ball over and come away with nothing.
Yeah, and you wonder, Feltz looks like he's pretty comfortable back there again. He's a junior cornerback, so good that he was getting a lot of playing time 2 years ago as a freshman. So this guy is talented. He's comfortable out there in crunch time, and
he's a 3-year starter.
Yeah, this is easy stuff for him. I mean, that was delivered right to him. Andy Holly with nowhere in the area.
Yeah, my good friend Bradley Craig, one of the coaches over there, who you would think he's tired of football. But I finished watching Monday Night Football and called him late at night, and he was ready to talk about these Wolves. And Phelps is one of the guys he was highlighting.
I'll bet.
Inside 30 seconds here, and this is Crawford back from the Wildcat. And Crawford steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Just shy of the 1st down, it looks like. But, I think Andy Holly did realize the pass was going to be coming to him, but it was just thrown so over his head that he didn't have a chance to get back to the spot.
Yeah, it was thrown to his spot, but Holly was not able to get to that spot. And
Phelps was there waiting at the spot.
Yeah, Phelps was sitting in center field, it looked like. Or left field, you could say, down the line. There it is. Wow.
So does he have 2 picks tonight? Does that make 2? Or
No,
that's first one?
No, he didn't have the. He didn't have the first one. Inside. Nowhere to go. It was the Kamal Mahdi, the linebacker, who had the other pick.
So Crawford was going to try to make a pass there. Just got sacked. Huh?
That'll close out the third quarter, 7-0. The Viger Wolves have the lead as we get ready for quarter number 4 here from Prichard. Coming up after this. Viger band ready for their team to hold on to this one and pulled out 7-0 is where we're at. Headed to the 4th. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck, Brian Anderson, our statistician, and all of our crew here on 2nd and 14 to open things up in the 4th quarter for the Viger Wolves. Williams with pressure. Gets away from Stallworth. Now wants to pull it down. Decides to throw it, and he's trying to go deep.
Yeah, that's Crawford.
It was Williams.
Oh, was it? Okay. I thought
quarterback. Let's go down to Tara. She's got a Faulkner State Educator Spotlight.
Thanks, Jim. I'm here with Viger principal Gerald Cunningham and his daughter, Kiera. Now, Gerald, first tell us about the Signature Academy here at Viger.
Our Signature Academy is information technology. Our students are really enjoying and learning new programs. They're actually building a lot of new things. They're very excited about the new equipment that we've been given by the school system. We have people coming over. We have great partners that have come over to help us, taught our kids how to use this stuff, and they're using it every day in class. We're pretty much going paperless at Viger High School because this technology is outstanding.
Wow, and then also tell us about some of the extracurricular opportunities available at Viger.
Well, as you see right now, Viger High School is one of the greatest football teams around. We have back-to-back championships, and we're the only school that has a national championship. We also have your regular, we have volleyball, we have basketball, baseball, we have track. We have all kind of outstanding programs at Viger High School that our kids participate in, and they love it. And we have coaches that are outstanding. They're not only coaches, they're mentors and parents as well. So at Viger, we're doing it, and it's great. I always ask people at the end of the day, if you haven't seen Viger, come visit Viger now, because Viger is on the move.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gerald. Back up to you, Jim.
By the Wolves, and good kick by Horns. It goes out of bounds back near the 30-yard line. 10:57 left. And Jackson will take back over. How about Jalen King with another sack on that? What a night that young man's having defensively for the Aggies.
Yeah, he'll be one of those names we call out at the end of the evening for the Tank Brown Award, because that kid has really made a lot of plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Throw number 71 in there. Minute gone by in the 4th. See a change at quarterback. Lane Roch comes in, the sophomore, trying to get a little spark going, and he gives it off Michael Phillips to the 37-yard line. Roch 5 of 6 for 40 yards with a touchdown and interception on the year. The youngster thrown to the Wolves, literally.
Yeah. Well, you've got to, you're putting a young guy in a very pressurized situation, one of the biggest games in the state tonight, and there he is.
It off. Phillips trying to go to the right side. He's got a hold, breaks a tackle. And Phillips up near the 49-yard line. Boy, he got through a big lick, and he's got the first down.
Talking about having a hole, he made one for himself there a couple of times.
Yeah, man, he ran hard. He got some help, and then he helped himself. You're right, Vic, and that's a big first down for this Jackson team.
Coach Powell's excited about him. He wanted to talk about Michael Phillips as well, both those running backs. He said he's got 2 of them that are interchangeable, that'll make some plays for him, and you see it right there.
Andy Holly now back at quarterback. He'll come right toward us on the near side, looking for a block to get to the corner. And he lunges across the 45 to the 42-yard line. Earl Scott, a good job to string that one along, and the junior made the stop on Andy Holly.
Again, you got these Viger defenders, and what I'm seeing out of them, Vic Lockett, is they do their job. They're not playing off script. They're trusting that the defensive set is right, that the guy next to them is going to do the right thing. And They just try to do their job.
I agree with you.
Holly, a little stutter step and tried to cut it straight up the middle of the field. He's going to have the first down before he's wrapped up and brought down, but that one, he's a little slow to get up. That one was designed to go to the outside. And he cut it back in with a nice little slinky move there in the middle of the field between the hash marks. Hey, we asked you about trivia. Jackson, 100 years of football. Dan Brennan with a guess who they play in 1960?
How about Thomasville?
Dan Brennan, there's some talk. They went 0-1-1, but they tied. They went 0-1-1 that year. They lost to UMS. They played Thomasville to a tie, but nobody has the records of the date of the UMS game, so we're going with Thomasville, and Michael Phillips is going for a first down, and then the ball comes loose at the end of the play, all the way inside the 10 and recovered.
Guess who?
By the Viger Wolves, as Eric Feltz comes up with it. Oh boy, now the official's going to have a discussion.
Yeah, I was going to see whether they were going to mark him down or not.
Thomasville, the coaches over there, was by the near hash. And they're saying he's down.
Yep, Ron Coleman.
Oh, Jared Keyhouse.
To the ground.
He's going to earn his money here. Let's take a look. Phillips, he was down.
Yeah, either that or the ground caused the fumble, which cannot do it.
Yep, he was down. Good call, but boy, it was bang, bang.
Yes, it was.
Great look.
And no surprise
from our crew.
Phelps gets the ball there, but you're right, Thomasville. Take it back. We're talking about Thomasville. Jackson is going to be in pretty good shape with a 1st and 10 at the 21.
Andrew Dullison, camera operator, great photographer here for us here tonight. Gave us that great shot on the replay, and Viger's going to take their second timeout. And this might be more for Derek Scott to have a word with Ron Coleman than to talk to his team, and maybe good job to let his team maybe collect themselves and, hey, got to say, hey, that play's over. We got to go get on to the next one here because this game could be on the line at this point.
Big Lockett, what's this Jackson team found here in the 4th quarter offensively that you're seeing?
Well, it looks like they're sealing the edges, Rod. Yep. You know, we talk about Viger playing good defense, but they're not getting to the edge over there to protect it. And they found something on the toss sweep.
Here's the play again.
There's his knee is down. Ball still in, then it comes out.
Wow, that's close. That's real close. Now, if you say the knee is down at that point, Jim, that it's not as close, I get that, and I guess you're right.
Yeah, knee down, ball out.
Yeah, but how about Julius Horn stripping the ball out? It wasn't like the ball just came out. He was in there.
No, and it wasn't one of those things where his body hitting the ground popped the ball loose. At first, I thought that was it. But the fact that that knee scraped to the ground, that legitimized that call.
Yeah.
But it was close.
Good work by the officials to kind of confer and get the call right. That's what everybody wants.
They got a tough call right.
Yep. They didn't have the replay to look at.
Not the privilege of replay.
Andy Holly back at quarterback. And he gets to the line of scrimmage, and nothing more as the sophomore Frederick Austin is in there to wrap him up.
These defensive ends, Walker 14 and Austin 90.
Yeah, that was actually Chapman with the carry there, not Andy Holly.
And of course, you got Perry in the middle, but those two guys on the edge, both sophomores. Even the outside linebacker, Snow, 24, one of the outside backers, a sophomore. A lot of youth on this Viger team, a lot of guys coming back.
All right, now they will bring Andy Holly in, the Wildcat, and he wants to come to the near side. Chase from the backside and tries to cut it inside. That Viger defense is nasty on the inside.
Yeah, you know, we were just talking about getting to the edges. They quit going to the edges on them, and they're trying to go inside. And another point, you know, on a pedestrian defense, if you try to cut it back, usually you're going to find some daylight.
Yep.
This defense, nope, no cutting it back.
It's like a haunted house. Every door and every closet.
Yeah. Timeout taken by the Jackson Aggies with 3rd down coming. And see, that's where we're at. We're atop Prichard Stadium here. And our UA Early College Game of the Week also brought to you by Advanced Collision. Hooked us up some great fish last week in our game. Greer's 100 years here for good. Vic Lockett not going anywhere.
Right here in Prichard.
Also, Alabama's Secretary of State. And 8 minutes and 3 seconds left. And this one, hey, you want to Marty and Angela Kennedy and Daphne watching tonight. They had to take a little break. They're helping get set up for the big Daphne quarterback club drawdown taking place in Daphne last night, and they were lending a hand tonight. Just stepped away from the TV for a minute to come and give a hand to get ready for that. They'll be there tomorrow night, and looking forward to seeing. I'll be there as well. Looking forward to seeing everybody at Daphne High School, the big fundraiser tomorrow night across the bay. So 3rd and 9, and now they bring Cooper Christian back in at quarterback. Andy Howley in motion. They fake it to him. Now they give it to De'Arius Prichard coming the other way, and he goes up the middle. And he's wrapped up all body there with a stop, and 4th down coming up.
I don't know what else to say about Kendall Goodwin's defense, but they have been lights out in some tough spots here tonight.
How you think? So you think you try a field goal here, but boy, you just don't. Are you going to get back down here again? I think they're going to take another time out to talk about it.
Well, you've always in high school, you know, you've got to wonder if they've got a kicker that's even challenging enough to get it there. That's going to play into the any decision you make.
Yeah, it'd be a 37-yard attempt from here. Oh, let me correct that. That would be a 33-yard attempt from here. And I think they're going to try to go for it. They just have not been able to get anything done here. This team scored 21 against St. Paul's last week. They did have one on special teams. Hey, the new Zaxby's Packs. It's a meal for the entire family. Available in 12 or 18 pieces, or if you get 2 orders, it's 24 or 36, like at the Lockets on a Saturday of college football and a Sunday of NFL football. Available in your favorite flavors. Fingers, chips, toast, side, and tea, all from Zaxby's Packs at Zaxby's, and they feed our crew every week. And it looks like the Viger defense is nasty when that food shows up. Seeing the crew get after here. 4th down now. Roch back at quarterback, middle of the field, wide open, touchdown Aggies. Kemonte Williams. And how about the sophomore quarterback takes the snap from his brother, the center, looks down the middle. Throw Vic Lockett.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at the receiver just right down the seam, coming in your living room right there. Beautiful catch with his hands. Doesn't let the ball get to his body, so undisturbed, untouched, touchdown.
That's why the sophomore is in there. He delivered something right there.
He did.
Now a big PAT here. Gardner Binion, left-footed kicker. Saw him hit the uprights a couple times in warm-ups.
I don't know.
And this one is good.
Wow.
Ooh, it was not automatic. Everybody kind of looking at one another. 7-7. Hey, it is the game of the week here tonight.
Sir.
On UTV 44. We're at Prichard Stadium. 7:31 to go. All tied between the Wolves and the Aggies. What a game we've got here tonight at Prichard. 7-7. 5A Region 1 matchup. Jackson gets on the board after 3-minute and 25. Second drive goes 66 yards, and Kemonte Williams with a touchdown reception from the sophomore Lane Roch. Binion with a kick, and this goes over Crawford's head, and that's a live ball at the 20, and Crawford picks it up and is hit and dropped at the 17.
Well, that could have been a disaster. He saved it from being a disaster, at least by fielding the football, and it's just on the 15.
Or it could have been the ball bounces loose. He picks it up, and there's a YouTube moment going the other way. It was the way Charles Crawford is.
That's what he was thinking.
That's what he's always thinking.
Sure.
Now.
It's a long way to go for a team that hasn't moved it well offensively.
Yeah, they had, their touchdown came on a heave to the end zone that was deflected by Keyshawn Parker, and then right into the hands, but a great concentration catch by James Jackson of Viger. And now double tights and under center.
Yeah, this is exactly what Coach Powell and his group want to play here.
Cameron Williams and Crawford split out to the near side. They'll give it off in penetration and nowhere to go.
See what I mean? Coach Powell and his group want all those athletes right there between the hash marks, and we're just going to play disciplined defense and get you.
Yep. Jalen King with another stop in there and a loss of 5.
The defense played awfully well when Vigers come out in power.
Yes.
Got a tip in their hand.
Yeah, Coach Powell, he gets a little bit nervous when they start going 4 and 5 wides. And Crawford's out there. So if you're going to bring everything between the hashes, he feels he's got a chance.
Smith and Williams split to the top, and they pitch it back, and that's going nowhere except back to the 10-yard line. Stallworth, brains and brawn here tonight, and makes the stop on that one.
They starting to look at field position, flipping the field now.
With 6.5 to go, and now you got to be worried about a turnover here. 13 interceptions on the year for the Aggies.
Now here, when they bring Crawford in and they go trips or twins out, that's when Coach Powell, kind of gets a little tight.
Crawford will be in at Wildcat. Play clock inside 10. And he'll take it. He just wants to run straight up to the middle of the field, try to get to the outside and nowhere to go. And now Viger's going to punt from near their own goal line. A very quick 3 and out, and going back 8 yards. We'll call it 9 officially.
Yeah, not only did Jackson get the stop, but they got the stop on a 3 and out, giving them a chance. You know, they're not going to have to be too hurried,
right?
If they receive the football on this punt, plus great field position.
Yeah,
they got an opportunity to make this the last possession of the game.
Horn will punt from the goal line. Abston stands inside his 40 and a high snap. Gets off a good kick, though. Abston fair catches it at the 48-yard line. And great field position here for the Aggies. Inside 5 minutes to go.
Hey, don't underestimate the importance of that really good punt right there.
Good point, Dan Brennan. And we'll take a timeout here. 7-7. 5A Region 1 matchup here tonight, and it's a good one. On the UA Early College UTV 44 Game of the Week. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves, Brian Anderson, our statistician, Jared Kiosk, and our entire UTV 44 crew. Hey, nobody's left early here for Prichard for this one. As Jackson with the football and Roch stays in at quarterback. And movement up front. I think they were maybe pulling to the right. William Rayburn.
Yeah, guard was ready to go, wasn't he?
He's heading that way.
And then he comes back and point and say, hey, somebody may be saying the cadence look like. Let's see what Run decides. Yeah, no simulating the snap count.
No, they didn't buy that one.
Good argument there, William.
And he was passionate about his presentation as well.
He's going to be a future lawyer or a lobbyist one, huh?
So first and 15 now for the Aggies. Just tie this game up here in the fourth. Nowhere to go for Chapman.
Well, what do you know?
Yeah, when I'm on defense, they don't huddle, and you knew what he just did. I know the same play's coming.
Great point, Vic Lockett.
Yeah,
and I'm not a Phi Beta Kappa, trust me.
Yeah, but you're a football player.
And Chapman.
So the outside end there just stood there and wait for it to come to him.
Lose 3 more. 2nd and 18 for the Aggies.
Now Viger's thinking 3 and out, and we get it back.
In good field position.
Yep.
And now another one because they had too many. They broke the huddle with too many men. I do think some of these pre-snap infractions we're seeing is a direct correlation just to how good these defenses are here tonight and how rattled the offensive and the play callers have been on both sides trying to figure out a way to make something happen.
Well, it looks like to me they have the formula, then they go back to the drawing board and
try something else.
Yes.
3 receivers to the near side. And now, wow, Jamarcus Lewis was coming on the left side, and he came over the line, and then the ball was snapped, it looked like.
And Jamarcus is lobbying that the ball moved.
And Viger will give him 5 back here.
Judge Ron Coleman's not buying it.
Now, dead ball.
Wow.
Encroachment. Get a defense.
It's Andy Holly right in the face mask.
That might be the first time that's ever happened.
I think the center was just trying to take advantage of the player across the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 18. Andy Holly goes in motion. Watch looking his way now. Instead wants to come to the near side for Banks, and it's incomplete. Crawford back there with good coverage. I'm sorry, he's looking for Tyler Jackson to the near side.
Better be careful with that thieving defense of Viger. He will steal it.
Yeah, so now you're 3rd and 18.
They were hoping to find Crawford sleeping back there a little bit, and all of the attention on Andy Holly. It was just a safety valve, but they were going that whole play. That was certainly the design. And they had a one-on-one.
5 receivers here, and Danny Powell has shown he's not afraid to put the ball in the sophomore quarterback's hand to make a big pass. Pressure coming, and he won't get a chance. And now a flag thrown at the end of the play as well. Vincent Fair is in there holding against Jackson, and Viger will decline that penalty. It'll bring up 4th down.
Well, Viger's got either a punt block or a punt return.
Or just let 4 catch it and see what happens.
Hey, maybe you do that. But both these offenses have just been stymied time and time again. And somebody's going to have to score, or this thing rolls into overtime.
Hey, you don't think Jackson's going to fake it again, do you?
There is no way that's going to happen.
Jackson will bring on the punt team here. Tyler Abson, who took off on a similar down in distance.
That's why I'm not putting it to pass him.
No.
Not this time, Dan.
No.
Crawford stands inside his own 30. Abston, this time not a good punt. Wow. Now it finally bounces up, but it did not even make it to what would have been a 1st down. It took a Jackson hoppled and hit the ground, but wow, I'm going to spot it, I believe. It would have been just a 1st down at the 38-yard line.
By 8 yards.
Wow, but it went straight up.
He's lucky he got the carom he got.
Yeah. All right, so 3:42. You line up 4 in the Wildcat, Vic Lockett, and just like right out after the half.
Yeah, you know, hey, you got the best player. Let him handle the football. You got these athletes, this is what you do with them.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator is Eric Scott.
Derek's twin brother, right?
Yep. Cameron Williams, he'll keep it, goes right up the middle, and he squirts through. And he's all the way up near midfield to the 49, and he's got a Viger 1st down.
Yep.
He just powers it on through, keeps his legs driving right there, and he says, hey, I'll go 11 yards if you don't let me.
Sellers slowed him down, but not before he got to midfield.
In my high school, the kids that were good at calculus didn't run like that. Not that I remember.
Were you practicing calling the games in high school as well?
Well, in basketball, from all the time I sat, I could have.
Crawford to the top of the screen. It'll be Williams who keeps it, and he'll get dropped for a loss of 2 this time. Yep, 2nd leading tackler.
Wow.
Nice job by him there, linebacker.
Jackson coming in here tonight, his 7th tackle for a loss on the season.
Plays downhill, that's what you want to do. Recognize the ball, come up there and make the tackle.
Also, Jalen King around there as well. .245.
Not in a big hurry here.
Now the stack Three to the bottom of the screen. Williams looks that way. Now gets some happy feet. Decides he wants to run and right into the arms of King and Stephen Crenshaw there to help
I think he
as
made
well.
a good decision there. Just get all you could get. You know, the receivers were just surrounded by defenders, and if he'd have threw it in that crowd, tip drill, and it would have been going the other way.
Yeah, and how about Jackson being out of timeouts right now? That said it had one left. That'd have been a great chance to stop it there.
Yep.
Give themselves some time if they can get a stop here.
Boy, the time that Viger's allowing to roll off this clock, too. They're at the 50. It's not like they're at the 20.
Williams goes right up the middle. And he's to the 35, and he's got the first down. That's why they're not in a hurry, Dan Brennan, right?
Well, once the ball was snapped, Williams was in a hurry, and he saw the field just open up for him on the quarterback draw, a called play.
It's an Alabama Secretary of State first down, and Williams, you know, only rushed it for 156 yards on 42 carries this year, so you know, not gaudy numbers. Tarvin in the backfield. Instead, Williams will take it. Now again, right up the middle of the field. He's inside the 30, and Jackson trying to strip it away.
This Viger offensive line, there's a lot of action up front. It's just not straight ahead blocking. There's a lot of pulling and trapping, and these guys are big enough that sometimes they don't really have to have the most physical block. They just get in people's way.
Yeah, that zone blocking and shielding people away.
Yep.
It can be successful.
I think there's some thought here that, hey, we're just going to try to keep running straight forward. I'm not going to turn it over, but we'll take our chances in overtime with getting the ball at the 10-yard line. And
we're at home.
I don't know what the thinking would be. I mean, if you're going to be down this far now, you got to take some shots at the end zone.
Yeah, and you got 40 seconds, and you got one timeout, and now they're going to take it with 34 seconds left.
Yeah.
Has not been much through the air. The one pass was tipped.
I don't see how there's no logic to just saying, okay, we're down to the 35. Now let's play for overtime. If you're at your own 35, maybe. But they've been able to get the ball, drive it down here on a series of quarterback draws. A lot of that has been what's been successful here on this drive, Vic. But at some point, you got some playmakers. Get in your hands and see what happens.
Well, you know what? You and I see eye to eye on that. That's why you have them. And you got them to make plays, and games are won and lost. They'll tell you, these coaches will, by the Jimmy and Joes. So let the Jimmy and Joes have it. Put them in position to make the play and turn them loose.
Third and less than one.
So I think something must have went on in terms of miscommunication between Coach Scott and the refs, because they were having a big conversation probably about when they called the timeout, because there wasn't any urgency with Coach Scott there after that last play, because I think he thought he got the timeout in. We'll see if Judge Ron Coleman's going to
I don't see him
give him any more time on the clock.
Let's see. I don't see that happening necessarily, but maybe.
He's resetting it. Yeah, he's saying something.
48, 48 seconds maybe?
Well, it seemed like maybe 15 seconds came off before they signaled the time. Like closer to 44. I think that's about right. If it was right after the play, it was around 44, I believe.
Okay, well, that's what he gave him, 44, so you're spot on, Dan.
But now you got to be careful right here of a couple incomplete passes because it's third and less than one. You got to get the first down.
Let's see, no timeouts for nobody now, huh?
Right. Derek Scott, second-year coach here at Viger.
You need some yards. Unless you've got an NFL kicker roaming the sidelines, you're going to need some yards right here.
No, they put it at 49 now.
Okay. All right. Now Ron Coleman's still not happy with the amount of time that's on the clock. I thought he said 48 originally. Yep, 48.
Yeah, that 1 second cost Les Miles, so let's get it right that second there.
He's not the only one that lost with just 1 second, Big Locker.
Yeah, I remember. Bit the Tide a few years ago.
Well, now it's supposed to be 48. Like it's supposed to be. If I could walk down and tell the clock operator that they want 48 on the clock. Now we've had 34, 44,
49.
It's like a bingo hall up here all of a sudden.
He's right down the hall somewhere. You can find him. If, you know, Ron could use the old microphone, we could hear what's going on.
Yeah, we're tied into our viewing audience. They would know what he's saying, but I don't know if the clock operator is looking at TV as well.
Well, I can hear him yell it. The last time I heard him yell it 48, but they're going to go with 38, and I'm still not sure.
Yeah, talk about somebody not sure. Derek Scott, he's not sure.
3rd and 1.
We're going with 3-8.
We've decided it's 38 seconds left.
Okay.
Tie game here at Viger. Williams trying to push forward.
That may be the last play, guys. Because they got to unpile and get lined up.
Got to get it spotted. Now Viger wants to spot it again. They've stopped him. They're trying to get up. It's 4th down here, and he spiked it. That gives Jackson the ball back. He thought they wanted him to spike it. He thought they had the 1st down, and now Jackson's going to get the ball back. Wow, it took forever, and there was no measure. There was no. Said it wasn't close enough to measure, and Jackson gets the ball back as Williams must have thought they got the 1st down.
I don't know. You know, I'm a little surprised there wasn't at least a measurement there.
16 seconds left.
Hats off to the Jackson defense. They did what they had to do. They got some help.
On 3rd and 1.
A little bit of psychology got in this one, too.
Man. So this one almost assuredly is going into overtime.
With 16.9 seconds left.
Well, let's see where's number 11.
Yeah, he's going to be taking the snap. Is where number 11 is. Kendarian Handy Holly.
Nobody's run for 75 yards on one play yet.
Well, he'll take this one at the 20. And he's going to be hit and drop down. Vincent Fair is in there, and that will bring overtime to Prichard Stadium here tonight. Our first one of the year. It's the game of the week, and it's been just that overtime. Coming up next. Got some free football here tonight. Overtime. Jackson and Viger, 7-7. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline. This team will get the ball at the 10 here. Coin toss. Dearius Prichard out there along with Charles Crawford. Trying to see who wins the toss here. Usually the team who wins the toss will defer so they can see what the other team does.
There's the overtime rules.
Yep. So we'll start at the 10. Each team a timeout.
Per period.
We'll play until a winner is determined. This is not like college. You don't have to start going for 2 at any point or anything like that. But we'll start at the 10.
Yeah, we got to get these kids home before curfew.
Kids?
Got to get me.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan, it's time for you to take your medicine, huh?
Well, you know what? Let's not get into drug use, but I can tell you that doing afternoons now on 95 KSJ has been a godsend for me and Shelby, and not waking up at 3 in the morning as I did for
So Viger will start.
too long.
And so the listeners as well enjoy it.
Viger will start on offense from the 10. And they'll have Cameron Williams out there at quarterback.
They found something with some quarterback draws the last drive, and they're all tight, bunched up again.
Tarvin and Dale straight ahead.
Boy, there didn't seem to be much there, but they punched it ahead for 4 yards.
Darian
If
Dale.
you do that 2 more times, you'll be in the end zone.
Yep, you would be.
I'm no mathematician.
Been around you a long time, Vic. You could have saved that comment.
But I've got a little bit of good vision.
Let's see what they do here, Jim.
You propped me up very well, Dan.
Dale in at fullback. They give it to him. And he'll fall ahead for maybe one more. And 3rd and goal coming up here for the Wolves. We see some substitutions.
Looks like they're bringing some heavy meat in.
Yeah, they bring Ja'Cory Prichard. Yet another Prichard coming in. Offensive lineman just going to be there on the D line here.
Are they setting you up, as in you being Jackson, for a quick pitch wide out of the same formation?
Yeah. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, Crawford not on the field offensively here for the
Would
Wolves.
shock me.
David Tarvin dotting the I.
And the keeper Williams on the pitch to the outside. Did he get to the goal line? Yes! Tarvin got in. I thought Williams was going to be able to keep it himself and get in, and then the pitch was a little high, and it slowed down Tarvin.
Yeah, well, Dan called it right here. They run the option out to the side. Looks like to me he should have sprinted onto the outside, but he decided to turn it up and run under the defender. But he got the touchdown as the result, and that's all Coach Scott wants.
It was very close over there, and one of the Wolves might be Tarvin who's down. And I think he may have landed on the football. Sometimes.
Well, hopefully that's all it is, prayerfully.
He's getting up. Well, he was close to the goal line there.
Well, even if he'd been short, they'd had another shot right there. But I just got the feeling. Yeah, shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like a shoulder.
Just got the feeling.
Yeah, that's
what they were doing was going to set up perfectly something on the corner. Boy, he gets hit.
Boy, I'm not sure he's in.
Yeah.
He's not in. I don't think he's in. Watch. So you see the ball there, and as he comes down, there's the ball down outside the goal line.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the angle is not perfect for us to make
the shadows,
clear judgment.
I would be so quick to agree, but
nevertheless, if they kick this extra point, it's over in mute.
Well, it's not over until Jackson gets a shot.
Oh, that touchdown's in.
Yeah, right.
that's
right.
part.
There's no challenge flag to be thrown. Now, Eric Feltz.
Big extra point.
And it's good. So now Jackson knows what they must do. 14-7.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Feltz is just a football player, isn't he? Comes in, kicks a crucial extra point after playing a great game at corner the whole game.
Yep, with an interception.
A fumble recovery that got reversed.
Yep.
It makes it look routine, too,
Yeah, he
doesn't
does. He's just a player.
Yeah.
All right, so now here comes Jackson.
You know, one bobble, one mistake here.
Yep.
A drop, snap, whatever. Viger lands on it. Game, set, match. So, yeah, they'd like to get a 4 and out, but they can actually end it sooner with a mistake. And how does this Jackson offense attack Viger? They're going to start out with a lot
I agree
of people.
with them. Come out there with twins.
4 wide.
Yep.
Spread them out.
They put Roch, the sophomore, back at quarterback. Fires it out to the far side. Andy Holly drops the shoulder. He's down to around the 5, maybe to the 4.
You can tell it's high school football. You hear the kids screaming, and the female kids.
Yep. Yep.
The girls.
You like defense. There's been a ton to scream about here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Almost all of the big offensive stars have been held in check. Second and goal. Shotgun. Andy Howley coming to the near side, and he's driving ahead and gets to about the 4, and now third and goal coming up. Vincent Fair. Throw his name in the hat for defensive player of the game as well. How well Fair has played in the middle defensively for the Viger Wolves.
You know, he's just so much energy that kid has in the way he plays.
In overtime.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't see a scoreboard. He doesn't see a clock. He just reacts to the football.
And you love a kid who's described by his coaches as he's just a happy kid.
Yeah.
And he is. Out of the near hash, Andy Howley in the Wildcat. Things are spread way out. Yep.
No, he's
looking
right
for a
there.
block right up the middle, trying to push forward, getting a push from the backside, and he is to the 1. And how about this for your football game potentially right here? At the 1-yard line, 4th and goal in overtime.
A lot of eyes glued to this telecast in Clark County right now.
And Jackson will take their 1 and only overtime timeout here.
Well, they're down inside the 1.
Now, if I was Coach Scott, I'd talk to that defense and I'd tell them, look, you have played great all night. You played lights out. But if you don't make this play right here, Jim Cox is going to forget it all together. And the rest of everybody.
Well, you know, you even think about it, too. It's like, okay, so you get the touchdown. Say you get the touchdown here, you're Jackson. Then, Danny Powell, what do you do?
Yeah.
Then what you going to do?
You want to get on that interstate right away?
No, you're on the road. You go for the extra point. If I was the home team, maybe I'd give it a thought. But if I'm on the road, I'd kick the extra point.
Well, I was awfully impressed by Phelps and his steeliness and his accuracy on that extra point. I was watching him before the game, and he looked like he was a pretty comfortable PAT kicker. But before the game and in overtime, it's two different things.
Let's see here how this shakes out. A stop by Viger, and they win the game and stay perfect in the region.
I'll tell you who's going to be coming hard is Vincent Fair, right over center, 45.
Now they bring in...
Penetration could kill this play.
They bring in Josh Carpenter, the linebacker, in as well. And he'll line up to the near side, and they don't go under center. They go out of the shotgun. And now Viger's going to take their timeout.
Got a chance to see the formation and how they lined up.
Wide splits again.
Yeah. Could it be a little bit of trickeration with that?
Boy, you look at that when you're inside the 1, and then you go to the shotgun, and suddenly...
I'm not a fan of that at all.
Wow. You almost got to think they were going to run behind Carpenter.
To the near side.
On a kid who likes to hit people, it would make sense to run behind him.
So
nice football game here. Nice little tussle.
Yeah, game of the year on UTV 44 without question.
Thus far. We got a few more.
And on into the playoffs too, Jim.
Yep, Spanish Fort, a winner tonight over Foley up on the hill. Daphne, another big win. Tonight they blow out Gulf Shores. McGill wins. Murphy with a 21-14 win. Saraland beats Baldwin County tonight. At home going away. And here, this one. There's some coaches watching this one right now with their game already wrapped up.
Yeah, and I bet they're on the couch just like we are, seeing what I would do.
All right. Now they flip the formation, double tight ends. Andy Howley out of the shotgun. He goes right in the middle, dives up. Did he get there? Yes! Vigers thought they stopped him, and the official on the far side said Howley, and when he went to dive up, he kind of got grabbed, and he got in.
He's a big kid.
Yep, and we'll give... Danny Powell says, we're going to play more football if my kicker can make one here, and you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Let's watch here. Right as he went to go, that's the sophomore Frederick Austin who grabbed him.
Nice try there. Nice effort by
Boy, he had
Austin.
so little he had to gain.
Yeah, he left his feet a little bit
All right,
early.
All right, now, Gardner Binion sends us to double overtime.
Jackson gets it first now. Kind of the top of the second, if you will.
Oh, so
well, they had trouble scoring all night going the length of the field. But from 10 yards out, they both figured it out.
And ball didn't go in the air, did not remotely look like it was going to go in the air at all.
Closest thing, ball going in the air, was the pitch by Viger on the third down and goal from the 4. And both of those touchdowns, too, highly contested. Nobody's walking into the end zone against either one of these defenses.
No freebies tonight.
Like the game's been all night, all night long. We got people getting home from other games now tuning in to watch. Willis Wilcox was at a game, and he just got home, and he's like, I'm home just in time for overtime.
Yeah.
Bonus football tonight.
Two of the best 5A teams around here and probably around the state.
Gene Everett watching over in Spanish Fort right now. And Jackson will come out with the football. We have not called Darius Prichard much tonight offensively for the Jackson Aggies. This was 7-0 Viger in the fourth quarter. Jackson ties it up. And then Viger scores on their first possession in overtime. On a pitch from Williams to Darian Dale. He got in for the score, and then Jackson has to use all 4 downs to get in offensively. And now they'll bring Lane Roch back out, the sophomore quarterback, and he goes on a hard count.
He actually confuses his own guys.
You know, what a great call, though, to try to get the hard count to see if you can pick up 5 and
5 cheap.
A first and goal, and instead now you're first and goal from the 15. And but the Viger defense discipline, not jumping.
Yep. He
Coach Scott's got him ready over on that side.
He obviously, for his sophomore, pretty heady stuff, but he had guys on his own right side that fell for the bait.
Now the give comes to Chapman, and he'll get back.
You can say Coach Scott coaching the defense, and you're right in both ways. The head coach and his twin brother.
Well,
or is it Kendall?
Yeah, Kendall's the defensive coordinator.
All right, so now we had a Jackson player lose his helmet, so he'll have to come out for a play. That was Ja'Cory Prichard. So we'll have to have a substitution on the line. And second and goal from the 12. For the Jackson Aggies.
What do you let the sophomore put it in the air with this?
Well, he made a pretty throw down here earlier, didn't he?
This is a compressed defense here.
Yeah, play clock down to 6, now down to 5. Watch calls for it. He's got it. He does want to throw it. Looking, and he's going to be dropped all the way back at the 21-yard line. Pressure coming by DeAnthony Walker, the sophomore.
Yeah. Ran out of time.
And Jackson has used their timeout here as well. So now they're back at the 20. And the 3rd sack of the season for the sophomore does not come at a bigger time.
But you get a timeout each session.
Ah, I see. That's what it is.
Yeah, each session you get a timeout.
And so my mistake. So 3rd and goal from the 20. So if Viger could get a stop here, then all they would need would be a field goal to win it.
You know, a lot of people talk about the speed of that play, the speed of Walker as he made that burst. But to me, yeah, it's great to have quickness and speed. We're in the second overtime.
Yeah.
These kids are playing hard. That's my point.
Sure.
Let's not just dismiss, wow, what a talented kid, or, you know, the effort that they continue to give on this defense, especially, but both of these defenses, pretty special.
Yeah, it is. And I'm going to tell you something else that's coming into play at this point, conditioning.
Yep.
Yeah, which team is in the best condition to go into overtime and still play at that high level.
Well, we're, you know, in nearing the middle of October. The high today was about 88. So you better be in good
Nothing
condition.
like Chicago up there, huh, Jim?
5 wide receivers for the Aggies. Roch, high snap, goes off his hand, and he goes back and falls out at the 32.
Now what?
And he can't believe that now you just have to go for it. I'm going to try a 50-yarder from here, 49. And Roch is upset with himself for putting a knee down when he grabbed the ball.
So do you Hail Mary it here?
I think you got to.
What else? Yeah, there's no first down. This is what Fred Riley, the Davidson coach, would refer to as the PE pass, potentially. So here we go, 4th and goal from the 32.
Good snap this time.
Roch looking in the right corner. Ball is grabbed and picked off and dropped by Charles Crawford, but it's coming back to the 10-yard line for Viger with a chance to win it.
I got news for you. Crawford holds on to that. Crawford holds on to that ball with a lot of offensive linemen on the field for Jackson, and all the receivers basically behind Crawford.
Yep.
Could have been lights out then, huh?
Could have been.
Oh, Roch took a big hit as well.
Ooh, right there. That's a bigger play than you think right there, I think. And you think, what are the odds of him going 100? Well, yeah, it's Crawford.
Now, I think the odds in Crawford's favor, is that, if that's what you want me to confirm.
All right, here comes
confirm, Dan.
Okay.
Viger offense. Now we have a texter, Dan, wondering about your conditioning in double overtime.
Yeah, he's sleeping in these days till about 10 and then heading over to the station and blowing it out.
All right, here we go.
He's all right.
In tight again are the Viger Wolves. Give on the inside and pushing forward to Darian Dale for 2. Now again, Eric Feltz, calm, cool, collected, can kick it for the Viger Wolves. Perfect on PATs.
And Coach Scott saw that bobble snap with that shotgun. Looks like he's playing it safe and putting his quarterback under center and say, hey, let's just hand it off. Get as much as we can. Ball security.
Offensively,
go to Phelps.
Where's Crawford been?
Yeah, he's not been out there in the overtime or late in the 4th quarter.
Right now, we rest him for next week, I guess.
I don't know you rest anybody for next week.
Well, Give in the backfield and maybe going to be a loss of 1.
You know, they're in field goal range. You know, you just want to be safe.
Now 3rd and goal from the 10. So, hey, if they
do you kick it here in case you do get a bobble?
I think Lockett bring in I think I bring 4 on the field and take the bobble chance out of it and just say, let's see if we can't get it to 4. And they'll line him up out wide.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's just a decoy.
I wouldn't decoy him.
I wouldn't pass it to him either, though.
I mean,
if he's going to get it, he's going to get a pitch from me or a handoff.
All right, so Cameron Williams looking over at the sideline. James Jackson, the sophomore wide receiver who's got the only touchdown in regulation.
Man
for Viger.
Huh? Yeah, Handy Holly's now over on Crawford.
They're not going to get this play off. They better call a timeout. Did they get a timeout called? I think they did.
Wow.
Because the play clock was inside of 1.
You know, you think something was wrong with Crawford as little as he's played a role in the second half offensively, but he's still making plays on the defensive side of the ball. So he's well enough to affect the game on defense. I'll be interested to talk to the Scots after the game and get an idea.
Yeah, if I was going to do anything with him out wide, Dan, I may stand up and throw it to him and let it go out of bounds. But for his downfield passing at this point, with a good kicker that can make it from this range, we just want the W.
Well, he can make it. The PATs were fine. That's a few yards further up the field.
Yeah, this would be a 27-yard attempt if they gain nothing from here.
Right. Now, I would definitely give a thought to a quick out to Crawford and see if he can make one of the better defensive backs in the state miss, because he's one-on-one, completely one-on-one.
Andy Holly kind of looking inside, seeing them out. They do want to throw. They want to come that way, and it's incomplete.
He had him. He had Handy Holly turned around and actually was wide open in the end zone.
All right, so here we're going to try the game-winning field goal. Eric Feltz. A 27-yard attempt.
This is not an extra point. That's 7 extra yards.
Cameron Williams looks like he'll hold.
It's also not smack in the middle of the field either.
So yeah, that is a good point there.
It's just a little toward the right hash. We'll call it 26 officially.
Yeah, I would have rather had it on the left hash for this kicker.
The crowd will let us know. Feltz has got it.
Extreme jubilation out of the Viger Wolves. Despair on the other side. Somebody had to lose it. It was a great football game by two great teams battling here in Prichard. Somebody's got to win.
Yep. That's what overtime's designed for. You're not going to go home with a tie.
No.
Wow, look at that picture.
Eric Feltz, interception tonight. Plays great defensively and comes up with the 26-yard field goal to win it in double overtime.
And the music is blasting in Prichard.
There is a big-time celebration going on all over the stadium, except, of course, on the far side with the folks from Jackson.
Feltz, you want to talk about nobody catching Charles Crawford if he would have held on to the other one. As soon as Feltz made that kick and he took off down the other end of the field, nobody was going to catch him in excitement. He took off and had no teammates around him to celebrate. What a game here tonight in Prichard. 17-14, double overtime.
Couldn't ask for a better one.
You know, before the game on Wednesday, obviously Jackson has got such a reputation and they're having another great year. And I just said quite bluntly to Coach Scott, can you beat this team? And he said, yeah, we can beat them. Well, it was a pretty even game. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
And either one could have come away with the win. It just shows the strength of, boy, Region 1 in 5A is no joke, especially at the top.
All right, let's go down to Tara. She's on the field with Coach Scott. Tara.
Coach, if you can put into words the emotions you're feeling right now after coming off victorious in that double overtime win.
It's just tremendous. I'm so happy for these kids, our coaches. I can't thank my offensive coordinator, Eric Scott, my defensive coordinator, Kendall Goodman, our whole offensive defensive staff. They work their behinds off with these young men who showed tremendous character tonight, tremendous determination, perseverance through adversity. I'm just so proud. It's a total team win.
And then this was a hard-fought game. You came out on top. How important is this win to continue your undefeated streak in region play?
All right, it's just another step on the rung of climbing that ladder to our ultimate goal.
Thank you, Coach, and congratulations.
Thank you so much for all you do for high school football, and thank you, everybody.
Oh, Derek Scott, a happy man right now.
What a good guy. We've known him a long time through his journeys.
Yep.
Now finally as a head man here at Viger.
Oh, and he quickly to really thank his staff. He brought it up in the pregame show, just the tremendous strides they've made on the coaching staff here at Viger, and sets up a big showdown on Old Shell Road next Friday night. Both the only two unbeaten teams in Region 1 here in 5A. St. Paul's and Viger will square off. They've had some good games in the past. They've had some good games
This ranks up there, though, doesn't it, guys?
Oh, well, this is a great game here tonight. You feel for the Jackson kids. You're elated for the Viger kids. And what a win and what a way to do it in double overtime here on UTV 44, the game of the week.
You know, Jackson's really tough to beat up at their place. They're tough to beat anywhere. But you come down here to Prichard Stadium, Prichard Municipal Stadium, and take on Viger, it's not going to be easy. And you can see just the way these kids play. To me, it's a lot more than just the young talent on the field. It's about the effort that they play with, and Viger was fantastic tonight.
All right, go to local15tv.com to click on the vote for the player of the game. Eric Steltz and Vincent Baird from Viger, and Jaleb King from Jackson. 3 defensive players, and then Feltz wears the extra. I love it. Feltz wears the extra hat to be the kicker. It's the only time Vic Lockett's loved a kicker. And he wins it here tonight with the 26-yard field goal in double overtime to move Viger to 6-2. They stay perfect in the region. What a win here tonight for the Wolves. Jackson with their second loss of the season, 5-2 on the year. Their second region loss as well. What a game. We're glad to be with you here tonight from Prichard Stadium. Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kiosk in the truck, Brian Anderson, our statistician, Vic Lockett in the booth, Dan Brennan, Jim Cox saying good night from Prichard Stadium, where Viger wins it in double overtime, 17-14.